we're here for you. We're going to, carry through. Imagine the first map. I want him to feel that kind of worth, that kind of feeling of a team, because that is how they got here, and then get that final form of Kanka. Because we have, 5 maps, hopefully.
Yeah, I need him to stand up and do anything. Just any pose, any
I want a new one though, because there's not that much up, so I want a new one.
He's rifling now, so what? We might see. But on the other side of this, though, we do have a player that we've all spoken about in the last month here, an MVP contender. If Heretics can bring it home out of that, is of course Rians.
Throughout the entire year, but especially the tournament that he's having today. At the beginning of kickoff, even EMEA, he didn't get his visas. He wasn't even in EMEA. We would see him coming up with the iPad, and he was in Madrid.
Fist bumping, no one.
Poor thing for an entire month almost. But seeing him perform in Madrid and Everseen has been a treat. How is it possible that we have an 18-year-old being possibly the best Sova in the game right now? His intelligence, his utility usage, how he supports his player, and the clutch rate that he has, nothing makes sense about Rians, and I'm all here for it.
I mean, I'll tell you exactly what I think of when I see the performances from Rians in this tournament, and I'm thinking of Prime Leo from last year, when Fnatic were the most dominant team in the world. He has that same drive where he could just take over a game, where his util is perfectly timed, perfectly placed. That denial on that spike diffuse on Sunset was just absolute perfection from him to be able to secure the round. It's moments like that that set him apart. It's a reason why he has been the top trending player statistically for Heretics throughout this entire tournament run. And I'm right there with you. You teed it up. Is he going to be maybe the MVP? If Heretics win, he is my front runner.
And what you see outside of just his individual performances is such immense maturity for a player so young. We alluded to it earlier, but his first reaction when he won his match last night and saw Calm crying after he got eliminated was to run over and give him a hug. He has proved time and again how good of a person he is to his teammates and how he builds them up when the pressure is on. When Miniboo was struggling in his first match falling off the map, he was the guy to lift him up again.
Yeah, and he's really won the hearts of the fans as well. But I want to see what you guys at home voted in our MasterCard fan poll. Who did you think was going to win Champions 2024? It was the same as yesterday. It's always kind of 50-50.
We were separated by like 0.1% yesterday. This time, a little bit more trending towards the side of Heretics, but EDG right there nipping at their heels. I love to see how close this is, and we can only hope that this series is as close as the fans predict.
Yeah, and I'm so glad. How is it that it went from me being the only person predicting EDG in anything to now having the majority? I've done it. I'm so happy.
I'm just going to say, I said that I would predict against Heretics until the final, and I just did it again. I want them to win, but really, I don't think any of us is going to lose today, because any of those teams, I'll be super happy to see them win.
Yeah, it'll be incredible either way. I think Team Heretics, it's going to be really tough going up against a double ban advantage, having to play so many matches in a row. But this is the situations where this rookie team have proved their ability to thrive.
It's just been an insane series here for the side of Heretics, but this is that culminating moment. This is where you need to be able to conquer rather than crumble. And if they cannot rise to that occasion, this could just completely swallow them here in this best of 5. They need to come out strong. We need to see them hard hitting from the very beginning. I want to see Miniboo just going absolutely crazy on the Neon, crazy on the Rays, peeking corners, taking heads off. That's the kind of energy that Heretics need.
Yeah, but I also want to talk about his brother Boo. He's been an incredible IGL.
Hey guys, welcome to the stream. थोड़ा late हो चुका हूँ, but live आ चुके हैं आज. संडे का दिन है और आज हम पहुंच चुके हैं Valorant रवि सिटी के ग्रैंड फिनाले में, जिसमें दो टीम एक दूसरे से टकराएंगी. EDG
It is time for the grand finals of Champions Seoul.
Team Heretics. जल्दी से जुड़ जाओ यार, लाइव आ जाओ, वीडियो को लाइक करो, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो, क्योंकि मैच बस स्टार्ट हो रही वाला, तो उससे पहले ही लाइव आ गया हूँ. मतलब लाइव तो मैं और पहले आ जाता, बट स्ट्रीम तो बहुत पहले ही अभी मैंने चालू कर दी थी, बट मैं प्रिपरेशन में था, उसके बाद अभी लाइव हूँ प्रॉपर. और अभी मैच स्टार्ट होने में मैक्सिमम 5 मिनट का टाइम है, तो अभी तो
当
टाइम
场
है
馆响起人山人海的
तो
欢呼
लाइक्स
声
मारो
时，
जल्दी से आ जाओ लाइक के साथ
我
वीडियो
无
को
法
लाइक
形
कर
容我
दो
内心的想法。
चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दो
我并不害怕，
चल
但看到人山人海的粉丝，我还是会紧张。来不及紧张。
You wonder about moments like this your whole life. But when they actually come,
और एक बड़ा अपसेट देखने को
you just
मिला
ask yourself,
जिसमें
are
लगिया
you
टाइम
ready
को आउट कर रहा है
or
टूर्नामेंट
are you
से
not?
EDG ने भी हराया और कल टीम हेरिटिक्स ने भी बेस्ट
现在我
परफॉर्मेंस
感觉到很冷静，我已经完全准备就绪。但是我不知道踏上舞台的那一刻会是什么样的感受。未来可能都没有这样的机会再登上决赛的舞台，这次我一定会抓住它。
When I first started playing Valorant, I could never imagine waking up here. Everybody had us as being the worst team in the league. With everything we've done, everything we've accomplished, the thought of this
आज
whole
हमें
year
नए
just being
जिनका
a dream
गेम
that I
भी
could
में भी
wake up
दिखाया
from
जाएगा
is terrifying.
भाई भी दिखाया जाएगा मुझे नहीं पता भाई भी पहला गेम वही
我是个
दिखाएंगे
单
वो
亲家
लोग
庭，
या सीधा
我一
हेरिटिक्स
直以来
और
就跟
इनका
我
मैच हो
的
रहा
爷
है
爷奶奶还有我妈妈生活，所以说
आई डोंट नो अभी आपके
我需要
सामने आ ही
向他们
जाएगा
证明
जल्दी
我有
आ
能力
जाएगा
去养活他们还有我自己。
क्योंकि मेरे को अभी कुछ
Seeing
नहीं
my
पता क्योंकि
teammates
मैं अभी
lose in
जस्ट
the grand
आया
finals was really heartbreaking for me.
लाइव आते ही मैंने
I was
आपसे
really
बात
sad
करनी
that I
स्टार्ट कर
couldn't
दी
be there for them.
यार जल्दी से
now
सब्सक्राइब करो
I'm
चैनल
here.
को वीडियो को लाइक करो आप लोग करते
And we
रहिए
are not
यार
stopping.
오늘 챔피언스 그랜드 파이널이 한국 인천에서 시작됩니다. 전 세계에서 온 팬들이 이 두 팀의 승리를 지켜보기 위해
Time slows down when it can get no worse.
Hola chicos, estoy con muchísimas ganas porque ya empieza prontito la final aquí
I
en Seoul.
can feel it running out.
कॉपीराइट चल जाएगा भाई इस पे कॉपीराइट चल जाएगा इसके ऊपर ये पता है ना गाने पे आ जाएगा बट स्ट्राइक नहीं आएगी क्लेम आएगा कॉपीराइट क्लेम नहीं खाना ना स्ट्राइक खानी ना क्लेम खाना हम कंटेंट थोड़ी ले रहे हैं किसी का हम तो अपना बना रहे हैं भाई भाई जल्दी से जुड़ जाओ यार वीडियो के साथ वीडियो को लाइक करो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो और प्यार दिखाओ अपना जल्दी जल्दी लाइक करते रहो वीडियो को सब्सक्राइब करते रहो चैनल को आज तो आप लोग पीसीटी का फाइनल देख रहे हो ग्रैंड फिनाले देख रहे हो तो यार लाइक और सब्सक्राइब तो बनता ही है प्यार बांटो आज हमें नया विनर मिलेगा आज हमारा नया विनर फर्स्ट टाइम जो वीसीटी जीतेगा आज कोई रिवर्स विनर नहीं है न्यू विनर मिलेगा हम लोगों को तो गाइस तैयार हो जाओ जल्दी से वीडियो को लाइक करो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो और जुड़ जाओ यार आज ग्रैंड फिनाले के साथ VCT Grand Finale. Opening ceremony. Wow. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's play.
Easy when we are apart, two worlds. Easy when we are apart. Say could be nothing, maybe something. Figures on me.
गाइस मेरी आवाज नहीं आ रही क्या? आवाज आ तो रही है ना मेरी? चल रहा है ना? सब कुछ सही चल रहा है ना? इसमें कभी आवाज ही नहीं आ रही और मैं बोले जा रहा हूँ. ठीक चल रहा है, ठीक चल रहा है. मुझे लगा अभी दिक्कत है.
I'ma do my own thing. You can follow trends. I'ma break it in the back of the room with a hammer, ain't taking a loss. This ain't no follow leader, I'm running it up and I'm taking it off. It's deserved. You wanna be up on my team, then show me that you earned it. I'ma empty out this clip and show 'em how to burn it. I can see right through that boy, I know when I'm observing. Yeah, run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. Run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time.
No distractions. It's you and me.
Yeah, I'ma maintain number one. I don't never gotta say too much. Shawty be thinking I'm green. Don't get me turned up. Watch out. Me and gang gon' be on yo. If it's a challenge, then we finna. I'm on the scene and I build my team and I build my game. I know they wantin' this life. I'm a winner, I'm never top 5. Ain't no switching, I'm here with the guys and they never lie. It might be a challenge, but that's what united us. Ain't nothing too late, cause that's what ignited us. It's feel like Gina and Pam. Salt and pepper, we take out your man.
क्या सही बनाया भाई इन्होंने. बहुत सही भाई.
I've been looking for you long. I've been looking for you long. Running. I've been looking for you long.
यार रेना को दिखाते ही नहीं भाई ये लोग। रेना को थोड़ा बहुत ज़्यादा कम कर दिया है, तो आती नहीं है अब। लो जी लो, वाइस का शुरू हो चुका है गेम प्ले। यार कमाल की एजेंट है भाई ये, लग रही है भाई, बहुत ज़्यादा स्कैरी है। स्कैरी है ये, इसको देख के डर सा लगता है भाई।
You're the top 10, gonna shake down. 이걸로 채우는 작은 부대싹. 상시 주위 red dot. 경고는 없어 better not. 사방에 다 부리지 마치 red hot. Broken arrows, what's left to lose? Here on the edge of our life. I'll never fight. I'll sacrifice. Fight until the final hour. Pain is my
इस पे बूस्टर का देखा था मैंने डांस, बूस्टर ने बढ़िया करा था भाई डांस इस पे।
말이 숨어서 말해봐. Tough guy 들겪고여서 도망가. 이제는 시시해 gunfight. I brought a blade. 이빨까지 shade. 날 주워봐 맛보게 fade. 끝이 보여 네 band-aid. 끝없는 내 rampage. 이게 나니까 절대 can't change. 내겐 없어 plan B. 오직 plan A. 바꿔 pain of a champion into champagne.
Hi Game OP, welcome to the stream bro. Oh भाई सही है। Wow.
챔피언스 서울 그랜드 파이널에 오신 여러분 환영합니다. 이 트로피를 향한 여정의 끝, 그 정상에서 만날 두 팀을 소개하겠습니다. 중국 발로란트 자존심 대륙의 꿈 에드워드 게이밍.
Sheesh. भाई क्या ट्रॉफी है भाई। स्मूगी गाइस जल्दी से वीडियो को लाइक करो यार, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो फास्ट। ग्रैंड फाइनल स्टार्ट हो चुका है VCT का और दोनों ही टीमें बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग है। हेरिटिक्स बहुत खतरनाक है भाई ये बंदा, बहुत ज्यादा। और ये उससे ज़्यादा डेंजर है। पैंजी पीछे। पैंजी तो बहुत बढ़िया है भाई, ये बहुत बढ़िया है ये। बू और मिनी बू। और अब आएगा था रोनाल्डो फैन। शू कम ऑन बॉय। भाई अगर ऐसे करेगा तो मैं तुझे जिताना चाहूंगा। बूस्टर है इधर कर रहा है ना डांस। Let's go.
What an electric opening ceremony. The perfect way to kick off the grand finals here in Seoul. I mean, you guys, what do we make of that? That was crazy.
I mean, incredible performance from everyone who went up there, and for these players, what a moment for them to get to walk out in front of this crowd.
This thing's only happened once in your life. Well, maybe it happens a couple, but definitely this is the first. Being so young, so talented, putting so much effort into something, and being seen
Heaven,
all of these people
Sunset,
rooting for you.
And look at
Lotus,
this. EDG,
Fine,
they had the double ban. They took away
Abyss.
Ascent and Ice.
No Ascent,
It's nothing too
no Ice
shocking. The
Box.
Ascent was kind of a given that they've just
Ascent
been
होना चाहिए था।
banning that in general.
तो
But
मजा आ
as you
जाता,
guys were
but कोई
talking about,
दिक्कत नहीं।
Heretics will be perfectly fine with that, and overall, probably aren't that hindered at all by this draft. Like we were talking about, there's not that many pain points to really target with these bans.
I think the biggest thing is the crossover in this pool. Team Heretics is great on Sunset. We've seen EDG's competencies on that map as well. EDG choose into a Lotus that Team Heretics have also favored here, even beating Fnatic earlier in this tournament on that map. That double ban advantage, I don't think is actually huge considering how deep Team Heretics map pool is.
Yeah, but it would be amazing to finish up, to close up today in that Abyss, in that map 5, if we ever make it there. But thinking of Haven, of that first map, we saw the other day where Heretics, that they brought in an entire new composition, and we just cannot do nothing else but wonder, are they going to do it again?
I will have to just wait and see. I don't think it's going to be
Neon
too many
खेल रहा है
gimmicks here
Gang
as
Gang
far as
bro।
comps are considered. But as you mentioned, that Abyss, the perfect cap.
ये मैन सबसे ज़्यादा difficult है Team Heretics के लिए। ये अकेले गेम को लड़ सकता है इस टीम के लिए। मार्को और ये। Heretics वाले फुल जोश में, कल से जोश में भाई। कल भी बहुत हंगामा कर रहे हैं लोगों ने यहाँ पे।
Yeah, they are loving that team. But EDG, I mean, their fans are
मतलब
rolling
ये
deep
टाइम और
here
इनका
as
बैटल
well.
हो जाता
It's such
तो
a crazy
खतरनाक
moment
सीन हो
to
जाता
have
है।
these 10 players on that stage. For 6 of them, this is their first ever champions. 5 players on this stage. This is their first year playing at Tier 1 in Valorant. And how they're here on the biggest stage the game has to offer.
And everything feels different about this final. The one time that they played against each other earlier in the year, EDG was only able to get 9 rounds total. Then they can exceed that in just the first map.
The difference is back then, EDG was playing for Kong. They were looking to empower him, to have him continue to be that superstar. But now it's Kong playing for the team, playing alongside EDG, being assisted by the likes of Simon, who comes in as the perfect pairing to set up everybody to shine.
And map 1, we're going to see that on full display. We start on Haven. That's where we've seen EDG playing this Neon Breach composition, which is all about Kong and Simon's coordination, and what Kong can provide in getting these opening kills, in claiming space early in the rounds for his team. Him and his opponent duelist on the other side, Miniboo, are the two duelist players at this event who, when you watch them, they are taking the most opportunities for opening duels. I think in a lot of ways that matchup will define this series.
Yeah, and the other side of this as well, we've seen Boo and Miniboo playing on the same side together over and over again, taking advantage of that synergy, and look at the
and Miniboo playing Neon. Let's go. Same team.
Matchup for our first map. Another change coming in from the side of Heretics. We understood that the other composition was everything about getting that plant down, but if you want to play the distance, if you want to play to the best of your abilities, this is the best composition you can play.
This is not a new comp for Team Heretics. They were playing this in EMEA and they looked great with it. Miniboo, I think his best agent is that Neon. He has been on it all year long. But the biggest thing here is that EDG's prep will have been wasted. They will have been looking out for that Sage comp, figuring out how to play against it, and Team Heretics have thrown a huge curveball here to start the finals.
I completely disagree. I think that they thought that was a one-time thing. It didn't work. We swap out.
Yeah, it's ready. It's time for map 1. Let's send it over to your casters. Show some love to two people who most definitely saw this finals coming. It's Brian and Sideshow.
Listen, I'm not ready to take credit for that. I don't think anybody saw this one coming as well, because listen, at the beginning of this tournament, and Champs has always proven, I think, that anything can happen. But you have two teams here that have had drastically different paths to the finals, drastically different goals as well. One team, EDG, on the side to try and dismiss some of the doubters that have plagued them after that Shanghai performance. And not only have they broken history, broken their own limits, but also potential chance to grasp that trophy. And the same could be said for Heretics.
We're getting a really unusual map to start this one off. The desk were hinting at it, but we've seen only losses for both of these teams on Haven here at Champs. Somebody's got to walk away with the win, and EDG picking it, thinking that they were at an advantage here to start.
Yeah.
Kang, of course, is the player to watch and will be for this whole grand finals, I think. And on the other side, that MVP candidate for Team Heretics, at least on this A defense, Rienz, looking to hold it down and back up. That's a bad stun to begin.
Good though, open sight. Heretics going to be playing for that retake. Simon's going to be sticking this. So extension of the round now. Through the next, still 5 versus 5, and shock darts flying through and past. Kang, the slightest of off angle.
They've got doubled up in hell here with Aftershock and Paranoia. This should be very, very difficult for Team Heretics to retake unless they go Heaven.
Done lands right at the feet as the Aftershock pulls out as well.
Still have Paranoia.
Yeah, and that util is going to be used to exchange hands once more. Paranoia in the face, Kang's body blocked, and EDG eviscerating. Fell into Heretics players where they stand.
Oh,
4 survive for a pistol round win on EDG's table.
And that's a huge pistol for
PL
EDG
दिया भाई,
to take
पहले
very
round में
early
PL
on.
दिया
They've been
Team
winning
Heretics को.
63% of their pistols in this tournament. That's an enormous number. Been consistent with it as well.
बहुत ज़्यादा retake करने की सोच है इन लोगों
strategies
ने. Body
always
block
come
कर
through.
रहा
You
है
can see it here again. That double up, playing Simon and Smoggy in hell there, provided so much utility pressure
Nice,
to keep Mini Boom
nice.
back. I think that's such a huge battle between these two teams. Which of their entry players can get the more value? And that's not always kills, that's also space creation.
It's been a trademark, I think, for Miniboo as well. If you're a stat Steven and you only look at it, you might think he's been having a bad tournament, but he does do the job, and his team trade him out when necessary. This is a heavy stack though, and a kill trip as well. They might be able to reap the rewards.
Oh,
And yes,
oh.
indeed, still the 1-for-1. EDG now aware of this, and they don't want anything to do with a stack.
हो गया भाई इन लोगों का काम नहीं
Question,
आएंगे ये
however, is
secret.
whether they rotate or
इनका काम हो
rotate,
चुका है,
sorry, or
rotate
whether they
करेंगे.
re-hit. There's nobody over towards the A side. Team Heretics are banking on the fact that it's going to be a hard rotate over towards A, trying to gamble with their full weaponry and classics to get into position. They've read the situation wrong. Nobody.
लोग नहीं push
Beautiful
करेंगे.
call. He's found the correct solution so many times in this tournament. For a player that's new to IGL and who's done some
सही
secondary
decision है
calling
भाई
in the
इनका
past, that's
बहुत
remarkable.
ज़्यादा.
It truly is.
ये लोग पहले fake rotation के लिए गए और उसके बाद वापस से आ गए.
Probably heard that line before.
बहुत सही, बहुत सही.
EDG have a lot of experience in them. Still nobody is new to that
Refined,
IGL.
Benji.
Dismissed handedly. Out towards the back of the side. Should be another open shut case for EDG for this round against the Eco.
We're following along with Simon here. There's a supportive player if you've ever seen one. What an addition to this EDG squad. There's a fault line perfectly placed again. They always are when it comes to this guy.
It is astounding as well. A player like Simon as well has joined this team relatively late. First international event for him, you can say the same. In terms of the finals for the rest of the team alongside him. So navigate first 2 rounds here of Haven.
It truly is remarkable what EDG have done, though, because I feel like we've never seen a Chinese team set up like this before. When you think about Chinese teams that you expect to break through, you're thinking a super team where everybody is the absolute best in their region. Actually, what they've done is they've reduced their fragging a little bit by adding Simon into the team. He doesn't get the most kills. He's a silent, supportive player, but he's got 0.5 assists per round over the tournament, which is just a ludicrous number. Like, other top players are getting 0.3.
Yeah, supportive util, usually on point from this guy.
Shows you the identity shift that EDG have gone through, no longer trying to rely on that individualism to carry them through games. This is a team now.
Shot that actually misses, doesn't actually break the initial trip. Kangan's going to think that that is free real estate. Instead, just hands over his life. Open-handed there towards Benji Fishy with one plucked out of the picture. He might be looking for a few more.
ट्रिप नहीं दिखा क्या? मुझे तो लगा था उसको सुनाई दे गया होगा ट्रिप की आवाज.
The drone to pave the way.
उसने डैश क्यों मारा है?
Aware of the fact that it's onto the C site. All about how the battle begins though towards the back of the side, and Team Heretics have rifles in hand.
What a round, yeah! What a round, Team Heretics. What a round.
Spectacular for Heretics. You see there,
Team Heretics को हराना ना बहुत मुश्किल है, easy नहीं है. हम सोच रहे भाई EDG number 1 team है तो हरा सकते हैं. कल देख ही पाओगे कि लेविएटान हार गई है उनसे.
Another interesting thing to note off the start there too. Benji Fishy not using
Benji, ये boot और ये mini boot.
So he goes for the
बू भी यार इन 5 बंदों में एक क्रिस्पी बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़ है कि जिसकी वजह से हार ही नहीं सकते ये लोग. मुझे नहीं लगता कि ये लोग हार पे.
All about it. Little micro differences. They can make the difference.
देखो आप मिनी बू को किस तरीके से पुश कर रहे हैं. बहुत ज़्यादा फॉरवर्ड खेलता है. अपनी स्पेस बना लिए.
5 alive outside of lobby. Drone is going to get that
clear
space
बना ली इसने.
No punish
वापस
inside
पीछे आ गया
onto him. Still play for his life, but they are going to have to concede this space up eventually through random spray. And his Hunter's Fury acknowledgement acquired by Reeves.
Damage, no
landed. Only the one shot connecting.
थोड़ा नुकसान हुआ है भाई, थोड़ा 70 HP बचे दोनों. Chichu और Nobody.
Pushed back up into position over towards long.
Nobody.
Heretics were already reading that EDG would give up on this, and you're right. He's gone to break.
अभी भी कैंग को ना पता चलेगा यहाँ पे ट्रैप नहीं है.
Still out to the open. Barely a shoulder. It's enough for Kang to capitalize.
Bad positioning from Wu. Big mistake.
Nibu's going to see if they can shore this one up straight through mid, up the gut, down and out, and contact is called. Chichu, none the wiser.
Nice, Nibu.
Heretics bringing this to that 4 versus 4. Nobody. Wandering there, looking for an opening towards the A side, but call is now made. 27 seconds left. They want to go over towards C, and guess what? Reinforcements have arrived. Benji Fishy and Miniboo once more. An attempt to play spoiler. Paranoia sweeps through. No connections at all still. Kang delivers them 3 in a round so far.
मैंने बोला है ना भाई, कैंग को अगर आप स्पेस दोगे तो चोक कर देगा. वो चोक कर देगा. स्पेस नहीं देनी है कैंग को. अभी 4v2 था, अब 2v2 रह गया है और ये भी मुझे लगता है निकाल लेगी EDG राउंड.
Taken down out of the fight, Simon. Just rookie to the stage, just rookie to the team. To deliver a clutch as he's done so before.
Location reveal.
Line ready. Sends it out preemptively. Boo is sticking. Damage needs to be done. Bullets need to be finding the targets for Rian.
One more round for Team Heretics.
To find his mark. Simon dropped. There's a round cleaned up, and now we sit.
Pistol and bonus जीती EDG. But अपने दोनों buying round जीत चुकी है Team Heretics.
Fairly decent with their economy though, so it's not disaster just yet. I think you can start to see that this is a grand finals game. There's a little bit of shakiness around here, and certain players are stepping up. Big game players like Kang, certainly a name that I would put.
Yo, Domi, nice balls on B, bro. Really good. I like it.
Team Heretics have got so many different paces that they can go towards, and actually EDG are going to go for an eco here. They might have been able to scrape together a bit of a buy, especially with Kang having ult, but they've gone for the safer option.
Kang's going to offload it anyway. Looking for an electrifying end to the round, potentially a start two to stun. It does connect, but he can't quite get it. The tracking was almost on point. Rians, though, steady nerve and a steady hand enough to save the day, but he can't stay alive much longer. Still, the flood is on and in charge. Commanding presence of Boo and Mini Boo. Brothers in blood, they're looking to dish it out on this site. Players revealed and the swarm has arrived.
How was Rian's been able to shut down the entry there? That should be a kill every day of the week for Kong Kong. Top of the scoreboard, not playing badly by any means, but just that single duel in that position. Wow. 6 health for Rian's would have made all the difference here. It was an eco, but I think Team Heretics are proving that this version of their composition, when they go back to something a little more standard, it's looking way, way better than when they pulled out the gimmicky Sage comp earlier on against Sentinels.
An excellent point that the desk was kind of talking about, discussing as we were heading into this. We've got time to discuss it. It's a timeout for EDG, feeling that pressure and heat, because I've been so impressed with EDG over the course of this tournament, paving the way with most of their wins. A lot of it coming from anti-strat, preparation. It's been a key component for them landing themselves into the finals here. But when a team throws you off, you think they're going to be playing one composition, they throw you for a loop as well, switching back to one of the older ones. It just throws your preparation out of the window, and it forces EDG now to adapt to the scenario at hand.
I did say at the start of this, it's a really strange map for us to be beginning the grand finals, because it's a map that neither team have won so far at Champs. 2 losses for Heretics, 1 loss for, sorry, other way around, 2 losses for EDG, 1 loss for Heretics. But also, the map advantage that EDG have for being able to come through the upper bracket, they used it to get rid of a map that Heretics would have banned anyway, Ascent, and Icebox, which, you know, Heretics have looked pretty decent on, but to be honest, that's somewhat middling territory. Historically, the team that comes from the upper bracket with the map advantage isn't even favored. It's 4-4. 4 upper bracket teams, 4 lower bracket teams have lifted trophies in Valorant. So, considering that EDG didn't even manage to create too much of an advantage for themselves and make a good map pool here, it's so even today.
Yeah. Even initially, for sure. And here it is. Straight through the smoke. That's disrespect shown by Rians. Taking a gander and a glance over towards lobby. They're not expecting that at all. Off angle is beautiful, but a flash and a peek and a swing on top of it. Mini Boo seeks to supplement the fight once more.
He's everywhere.
Still keeps the lead for his team in terms of that player advantage. Woot, flash and a peek as well. He needs to get himself back through Link. Chichu thinks at least he thinks he's earned himself a timing. Kankan, what is that? Oh, through the back. Any sort of blind spots that might have been occurring. Still a 2v3. There's chances for EDG.
But they're going to be running into Benji's utility here. Simon's got to break this. And even if he invests the ultimate, that'll probably just
अभी 2 राउंड से मुझे लग रहा था कि EDG थोड़ा सा पीछे रह रही है, बट 2 राउंड के बाद अभी उन्होंने भी अपने आप को थोड़ा स्टेबलाइज किया है जेल में. स्टेबल लाए, stability line.
To the retake now with a paranoia, but that's a big miss. The ult's going to be expended. Bullet to the dome side of the head.
Oh my god, मेरा कहना ही गलत था भाई. मैंने गलत बोला कि stability आई. एक और राउंड जाता हुआ EDG के हाथ से.
The battle between Benji
2 राउंड
and
की लीड ले ली है टीम हेरिटिक्स ने.
Both of these teams are set up in
relaxed, काफी
familiar
confident
ways
लग
to
रही
each
है.
other. They have one super hard entry player that loves to make space, take the reins, try to get those opening kills. And then they have a Sentinel who's phenomenally gifted with aim, who tries to take openings and opportunities for them aggressively in the mid-round. Benji there shuts down Chichu, makes sure that that gap is firmly closed.
Reversal ult over
Team
here.
Heretics now with 4
Ult
in a row,
reversal
knocking
over
EDG
here.
onto another eco. This is not the beginning that this Chinese squad would have wanted in their first ever grand finals.
There, map pick 2. Things going to miss there. Seen cheeky plays like this with the smoke as well.
Love that one.
Just in case there was a dart heading in his direction.
And of course, that's the kind of thing you can bring out in the future if EDG don't go towards A-Long and don't figure out what you're up to.
EDG are going to need to come up with some answers, and they're going to need it fast. There's rifle in the hands of Kankang. Still holding down his angles with the one-way Benji.
It's a nice spot for Benji as well, because Chishu loves going for those mid-round lurks through Garage once the trip has been broken.
EDG ने अपना first time out use कर लिया पहले map में.
Hold on to that fault line. It's a stun ready for him.
और हमारी वोटिंग लाइन भी यही कह रही है कि दोनों का मैच काफी डिफिकल्ट होगा 50-50% वोट आ चुके हैं अभी
Look at Miniboo and Benji waiting for these lurks.
Flash anyway to choose to take the time. He stuns himself in the process. War straight up. That's a Hunter's Fury. Hard committal still. He's potentially out of there. Still drop down. 45 health still alive and kicking. He's dancing around. Most of the
shot gang
still coming up with him.
Benji
Return to the fire and through the flames. You're not coming out unscathed.
Benji को नहीं कर सकते आप
2v3. EDG are going to have to pull out something incredible here, and they've only got 15 seconds.
Time is just against them.
The ult?
Yeah, ult pivot over and away, but again the timing is going to be
brutal. Gang.
Still collects the one. It's a 2v2, but still 4 seconds to go.
He missed it!
Who's missed the time?
Oh my God. जीत गए यार.
The nerves! Frantic on stage. On display.
One more round for Team Heretics. अभी 3 राउंड की लीड है हेरिटिक्स के पास. और बेंजी ने अपना क्रिस्पी शॉट दिखाया हमें इस राउंड में. शॉट.
Pretty sure that they were all over towards the C site. You've got to go for it. I mean, Smoggy's got the timer at the top of his screen. He knows that he beefed that. He wasn't even close. He was about 0.2 seconds off.
हाफ एन सेकंड से आ रहे हैं ना EDG ये राउंड पॉसिबल था जीतना.
5-2, another buy round. EDG with guns of their own. They got to start pulling it back sometime soon.
Again, you can tell that it's a grand finals match. You can
अब
tell
buying
that the
round है
pressure is
EDG
weighing
का
down
तो
on these
उन्हें
players.
ध्यान से खेलना होगा ये राउंड.
For some, it's forging them to greater depths. Look at
नहीं तो एक और इको फेस करना
so
पड़ेगा
clean with these
क्योंकि
shots.
इकोनॉमी तो बिगड़ चुकी है इन लोगों की.
But everyone on EDG needs to be on the same page.
Got to see that synergy that we've seen all throughout the tournament here, but Heretics no slouches themselves.
Looking to head back over towards A. And Miniboo and Boo have been locking this area down, somewhat similar to the way they defend on Sunset, trying to play each other in.
Boo knows the angles. Will use the TP though to get the hell out of there. Also some players.
Info लेने की ले ली info
backup arriving, and EDG 50 seconds into the round, but looking like they want to commit over towards A. It's going to be a clash.
40 seconds left.
The util is going to need to be picture perfect again. Wall up and over, flash onto the side, stun.
40 seconds
it's used
left.
in kind. It's Miniboo just
किधर जाना है EDG को?
as well, and still with 30 seconds to play with. They want to just take a scramble, mad dash to C.
They're going into the rolling thunder. This is where Woot is. This is where the trips are. Deep trip
decide
for info. Yep, and that's already spotted.
Ah,
nice,
yeah,
nice. Notice 20 seconds. Here's the old Woot. He's getting ahead of all of this. Wants to take the peak and wants to take the fight. Hunter's Fury trying to bail them out. Slowed down to a crawl. Aftershock in their face. It's full util spam. Cacophony of all of it into the back of the site we go. Twists and turns. The tails being weaved.
One more round for Team Heretics. Let's go.
Again, EDG.
Oh, भाई क्या खेली है Heretics.
The biggest enemy, Boo, just stays alive on B. And it's a tragedy.
C पे इतना chaos था पता ही नहीं चला.
That EDG have failed to capitalize on, and these last two. The kind of
शुरू हो गया भाई.
performances you should never
बहुत
be seeing
excited
from a
है भाई
team
Heretics
that's demonstrated such excellence here in Seoul. The calling got so scrambled there. I can respect this play from Jisoo and Kang.
सारी ability एक side use कर दी. सारी abilities.
They hadn't let out the breach ultimate.
Yeah. Getting messy and muddy. Like you said, evidence, I think. These players are playing on the biggest stage that they've ever stepped foot on. In all of their careers, there won't be higher stakes than this. Gets info, not actually broken. That's beautiful info. You know, at least 3 is there, and the fight is called. And the kill collected. Kang just forced to watch from the spectator seat now.
And look at the defaulting, it's just not good enough from EDG. They're not breaking Benji's utility. He's locking down the whole of B and C on his own, allowing the rest of Heretics to stack A. EDG have no way through. And if they go back and try to break these trips, they're going to be too late. There's only 50 seconds left. This is looking like another round that will be so difficult for EDG to put on the board.
Still walking most of the way. 40 seconds here. Trip in their face. They're going to be slowed down by Woot. Abundance of util. Trip once more. They've walked up right close, and they will be breaking this one. TP. No, there's no cover. And Woot's right there. For the punish, Chichu vacuuming up space.
Why?
Are abound.
ये TP करी क्यों?
Catch this timing, yes. Head missed. Blue was just trying to catch that sight line. K just dropped down, trying to get his team in 14 seconds. Again, time running away from them. Hourglass potentially trying. Nobody's going to stick this plan. A mini boot.
Timing not working.
Forward aggression showcased by Chichu. He knows he has to take risks. He knows the matters need to be taken into his own hands. Nora theft. Reveals all. The dart is dealt with. But Heretics have players. They've got bodies. They've got util, and they've got guns. The aim on display. It's a masterclass of the cleanup.
One more time for Team Heretics.
You think about what we've seen so far in this arena.
एक और round आता हुआ.
He had a chance on this same stage to turn his reputation into reality. Com and Sassy had their chances for 2 champs trophies, and it slipped from all of their fingers. These opportunities, they do not come freely. They do not come often. You've got to grasp them when they present themselves. And right now, EDG, they've earned their way to the stage, but they are just letting it all fall away from them early on here.
EDG का second time out है.
EDG
ने लिया अपना second time out
Heretics right now on this stage. They made it to the finals of Shanghai. They couldn't convert it there. It was a trophy in touching distance.
1 second, guys.
Mistakes. Despite the fact that you've got so many rookies on the team, I mean, you couldn't even list out the amount of teams and challengers leagues that they were playing in heading into this year.
Yeah. And Miniboo himself, who wasn't able to play in Shanghai, said it was heartbreaking watching his squad lose those finals, powerless to help, and now he's out here. And Heretics, they're the kind of team that can turn it around with a new comp, and the backing, the system works so well. And the coaching staff are so well prepared too. They can just spring out a fairly default composition like this, a match, and beat you.
EDG ने अपने दोनों टाइम आउट यूज कर लिए अपने पहले ही मैप में.
Encompasses Heretics so well as a team at the beginning of this year as well. All sorts of doubters, expecting them to be bottom feeders towards EMEA. They showed that they were potentially that flash in the pan at Madrid, but at every single step and twist and turn of this year, they've showcased what they've got on the international stage, and now playing like they do not want to let the same fate meet them that was at Shanghai.
Heretics out of the TAC timeout are expecting something quick, pacey. See how much deeper the trips are from Benji. Faking like there's A pressure.
Yeah. Similar game plan by EDG though.
Yeah, calling a bit of a pause into this one. They've taken some nice A long control. This is going to make Heretics a little less confident about their read coming out of the timeout. It wasn't quick and pacey, and now they've given up a lot of info and stability on the A site.
Rians is even hard committed over towards the side. I guess he does have the cam to help him out and get that information down towards short, so it's not in too much danger. EDG here are just trying to temper the pace a little bit. Hope that Heretics will fall into a trap of maybe trying to re-clear A for info.
And Heretics do enjoy re-clearing. They play heavy re-clear styles on Sunset, on Icebox they were doing it against Lev. Nothing seen with the drone.
Yeah.
This is the perfect time to go for that A execute.
हाँ भाई गेम ओपन लग तो यही रहा है कि अभी टीम हेरेटिक्स जीत रही है. Let's see क्या होता है. अभी तो पहला ही मैच है. 4 मैप बाकी है.
Nobody kicked off. And that's going to spell defeat. He knows that the hit's coming in. Sidestep, fault line not connecting there. And heads are being popped. Rattled off the shoulders. Chichu is going to try and make a play. Makes his way over towards C, but again 17
अभी
seconds.
तो just starting है. जरूर इस मैप में EDG का कॉन्फिडेंस गया हुआ है और टीम हेरेटिक्स ने जरूर पावर दिखाई है इस मैप में. हो गया प्लांट नहीं हो पाएगा. इस बार भी प्लांट नहीं कर पाए. इस मैप में 3 बार हुआ है कि EDG प्लांट नहीं कर पाई है. मैन एडवांटेज होने के बाद भी जब राउंड जीत रहे थे जब भी प्लान नहीं कर पाए. बहुत ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस है टीम हेरेटिक्स के पास.
Boo throws down that smoke and Rians anticipating the timing they might be taking. Finds not only a first pick, but enough damage onto Kung Kung to slow him down, hesitate in his step.
बहुत ज़्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस नजर आ रही है मुझे टीम हेरेटिक्स आज.
Same setup.
और ये मैप पिकिंग मैप EDG के लिए.
But will it make a difference to Recon? I mean, that just reveals all. If you see Kang, you know he's going to be the tip of the spear.
Think about what this does for the confidence of Heretics too.
Yeah.
If you were hoping that they were going to back off and start to respect some of this utility and allow Kang space on sites, the fact that you've just lost 8 rounds in a row, Heretics are going to be happy to swing into you, to step up, disrespect Util.
Exactly so. Drone tagging again. It's a heavy reveal. There's nothing obfuscating this from EDG. They're going to try and go in with brute force as the play. Dart up and over. Is dealt with. Broken inside the smoke, dominated by Rians. He wants to potentially take the time in, but the stun connects in. Bruder by Miniboo is there to meet him. Come knock into the side, but it's all too obvious. And the reality is starting to settle in. For Chichu now in a 1v4. It's an impossibility. Spike's in no man's land.
Sad spot for him to be in. The rest of his team have not been defaulting and breaking the enemy Cypher Util. He's not been able to pull off these big lurks. When they have come, they've been too late and his team has been losing to the clock. And now the rest of the team has to sit there silently, allowing him to try to go for the clutch.
Nice try, Simon. Nice try.
Fester.
भाई टाइमिंग ठीक नहीं बैठ रही है EDG वालों की और टीम हेरिटिक्स तो बहुत बढ़िया परफॉर्म कर रही है अपना बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस दे रही है आज.
Don't worry guys, we're going to get back into this. Surely next round is the one. And you sit there hoping that you can force yourself to believe.
Tell yourself it's one round at a time.
हम पहुंच चुके हैं पहले मैप के लास्ट राउंड में. या 9-3 कर्स रहेगा या 10-2 के साथ ये हाफ खत्म होगा यार. गाइस बने रहो वीडियो के साथ, वीडियो को लाइक करो, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो, प्यार दिखाओ अपना स्ट्रीम पे जल्दी से. Let's go.
Look at the setups by Heretics. A stack of players still over.
Last round and a half.
EDG just desperate for this orb. Simon would be his ult online. There's no punish in sight from Heretics. They'll give him that.
ये राउंड जीतना पड़ेगा EDG को. अगर 9-3 पर भी होते हैं तो एक चांस बनेगा सेकंड हाफ में.
You can allow EDG to get sight a little bit as long as you control some important positions, like for example Garage. I would like to see Miniboo tuck into that close spot and try to deny Jishu.
Thrown through, gets the tag. Although by Rians, he's expecting a few more from that, but that's just to provide some safety.
Yes. Ganking damage.
Although expended.
Ganking and Simon
what
damage.
Is nobody calling here? Is this going to be a breach ult fake on A? Oh, it's going to be ruined.
Yeah, the Chichu cleaned up. Kang right from behind. Ult is expended. Did you say it's ruined? It has pulled the players back.
Miniboo bought it, hook, line, and sinker. As soon as Jishu made that play, I thought he was going to stick around on the C site and try to deal with things. He just thought that was
finally plant to kiya. Finally plant kiya.
EDG need it. Every round they can get.
और इन लोगों के पास अभी है advantage.
Nefarious means or not. Here's the ult though. You hear that one? Spike a panic in the back of the mind. It's Kang who's the one with that ult in his hands. Nobody trying to hold that one.
Nice Kang.
With the tracking again, weaving in and out. Sidestepping, dancing. It's graceful by Kang, still alive as well.
Timing!
What is that? Return of the fire from the side. Heretics trying to barrel over them. With so much more to do here, but I think it's too late. Time being that deciding, defining factor all around.
Yeah, EDG win the round. Oh my god. Half second से भी कम है भाई.
Turns onto the side of EDG and they get a plant down. They bookend the half with a couple of rounds and it's smiles from Kang, but there's very little to smile about here at the beginning on Haven.
Kang की crucial भाई ये क्या timing है boot की? Boot की क्या timing होती है भाई?
Domination from them.
Boom!
EDG just need to not let their spirits be dampened.
Literally यार 2 राउंड जीते थे पिस्टल एंड बोनस, उसके बाद अब 1 राउंड जीता है EDG ने. पूरा मैच पूरा मैप डोमिनेट किया है टीम हेरिटिक्स ने.
Hey, what's up guys? Get your boasties on because we have Boaster and Cruz over here for the halftime interview. Now Cruz, first of all, you were on the screen for the opening ceremony for 0.5 seconds. How was that experience for you? 보스터 선수와 크루즈 선수 만나보도록 할 텐데요. 아까 오프닝 세레머니 때 0.5초 동안 둘이 춤을 추는 모습이 화면에 잡혔거든요. 어떤 경험이었는지부터 물어볼게요.
긴장돼요.
He's nervous in Korean. Yeah? Good experience for you?
Very excited to be on the monitor, obviously, and I think I had a really good time with the show.
큰 무대에 나올 수 있어서 너무너무 긴장됐지만 그래도 좋은 경험이었다고 얘기를 하는데요. 그리고 보스터 선수 사실 저기 있는 선수들이랑 모두 다 절친이잖아요. 그렇기 때문에 좀 두 선수들에게 어떤 얘기를 하고 싶은지도 물어보도록 하겠습니다. You're like best friends with all 10 players on the stage. What would you like to tell them right now?
जल्दी से वीडियो को लाइक करो, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो. हम मैप नंबर 1 के सेकंड हाफ में बस जाना ही वाले हैं.
I'm super close with them, so unfortunately today I am
EDG.
ये
जरूर मजा लेगा.
너무 열심히 하고 뭐 좋은 선수이기는 하지만 그래도 박한 선수 그리고 노바디 선수와 너무너무 좋은 친구이기 때문에 오늘 EDG 짜요라고 얘기를 했습니다. 그러면 마지막으로 팬분들께 한마디 부탁드리도록 할게요. Any last message to the fans?
Thank you very much for watching us. I mean, VALORANT, and hope to see you next year.
응원 감사드리고요. 그리고 또 내년에 다시 만나자고 얘기를 하는데요. 보스터 선수도 한마디 들어볼게요. 보스터?
응원 감사합니다. 다음 시즌에 더 만나요.
Thank you, Boaster and Cruz, and let's dance our way back into the second half. Dun 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 dun.
Betrayal, the heartbreak, the drama. Boaster against EMEA.
Where can we take Boaster to where he won't know how to speak to the crowd in their language?
Boaster यार बहुत सही बंदा.
He really is.
I know.
बहुत सही है.
We'll have to go all around the world seeing where those skills can take it. EDG have had a little bit of breathing room here. They've had another
ये राउंड बहुत मैटर करते हैं.
to speak to their
पिस्टल एंड बोनस बहुत मैटर करते हैं EDG के लिए. अगर यहाँ आते हैं तो जरूर इस मैच में अभी भी जान है.
So far, Heretics have been dominant.
इस मैप में अभी भी कुछ बचा है.
EDG just trying to get the read. Defensive setup, heavy stack over towards B. Heretics early take over towards A long. No pushback.
One of EDG's massive strengths has been their pistol rounds over the course of this tournament. They, of course, won the first to open things up. They need another.
EDG might have had the read here. Moving over. Reinforcements arriving with Kang and Simon. Util held. Nobody might miss that timing, though, still. Heretic set up for the A split, and the Util is connecting. Listen, the spades of it. More where that came from. No clean kills really to be found here. And it's EDG, they're going to barrel their way through, they just can't do it. In pieces, onto the ground. Pistol round cleaned up if I've ever seen one. The 2v5, it's just got to be heroics and a miracle, I think, on the side of EDG.
Looks like Benji's on the flank, seeing if Smoggy's gone for a teleport play past his trip, because they're just startled at how slow Smoggy and Chishu are to begin this retake.
Yeah.
It's a 2v5. More dominance for Heretics.
As I said, I mean, Util in spades. They're going to just cut them out of the picture here. Peeking, as soon as there's contact, recognition that the players are falling and dropping. And speaking of dropping, it's Benji with 4 bodies. Dropped in the round, a pistol round again under the belt of Heretics. This is, again, there's no other word to describe it other than dominance. They've come to this tournament with expectations that they might reach the same heights like they did in Shanghai, but clearly taking those learning moments from it.
Benji, you're the GOAT, bro.
It was a phenomenal
Benji,
pistol
you're
round
the
from
GOAT,
him.
bro.
The first fault line, though, from Wook caught onto 2 players. Miniboo went for the stun towards default, caught himself with it, actually, and they still had the presence of mind to slow things down. I think Team Heretics, too, on their attack sides, generally going to be a bit better than EDG at going around and meticulously pruning away that defense.
Making sure that there's a series of unknowns across the map, forcing the defenders to get active.
Benji could get caught here, but he's only got the pistol.
Yeah, that's why he's going exploring. No real danger of him losing and handing over a gun. And guess what? In the rifle aim, well, not even that, man, just raw aim. It's on point right now for Benji.
One of the few times that Simon's fault line's pretty bad. Chishu does respond with 1. Woo falling, but Phantom, Guardian, Spectre on the other side. Kankan would have to land some almighty martial shots to make this one winnable.
Only 1 player weak enough as well for 1 to the body. It's going to have to be mostly headshots defining this round if Kangkang is to do it. And like I said, Inibu survives. Single digits of health. Chichu will be no long for this world. 12 HP and a dream, and it will remain just that. It's 11 rounds here for Heretics. They're locked in.
Every team in the history of Valorant that's made back-to-back finals won at least one of them, the first or the second. EG last year had a somewhat similar arc to Heretics. We talked about that being a Cinderella story, something you might never see again. And the comparisons are not exactly one-to-one, but a team full of very inexperienced players who weren't rated incredibly highly by the community, that ran into the most dominant team of the year at the second event and come back and are looking amazing here to begin.
Similar parallels, but as an opener, EDG sorely needed.
4-player fight from EDG as well, committing massive resources to locking down A lobby. This is kind of similar to how Team Heretics were defending.
Yeah.
Except they were often leaving the Neon to fight over this area rather than the Sova.
A bit of a handshake with the drones there, just trying to get that information. Smoggy on the line, that is nice.
They hit 2 body shots onto Rienz.
Definitely did. Right there. Was claiming these kills. Benji, though, taking up some space. Spotting that there's gaps in the play. The defensive protocols of EDG still. Raw aim on display. Benji might be getting away with murder.
मैच पॉइंट जा रहे हैं क्या हम लोग? मैच पॉइंट जा रहे हैं क्या? बेंजी के लिए तो ये इजी हो सकता है. ये बेंजी के लिए बहुत इजी था, बट हो नहीं पाया. अभी भी स्टिल हम एक राउंड दूर है मैच पॉइंट के पहले मैच से.
EDG just to showcase that they won't be completely pushed around and bullied, but that's still only their second round that they've won with rifles on board. Opening kill was clean from Kangkang. Need to start seeing Smoggy get online. When we get to Lotus later on, third map, I am sure you will see Smoggy absolutely farming. He's amazing there. But on the Omen maps, it does sometimes take him a while to get warmed up.
Rough so far for him.
This Neon wall just a denial in case somebody like Kangkang had taken the walk down mid.
I mean, Chichu's playing in front of this anyway, but it's finally broken. That's 2 shots committed, though.
Yeah, but tons of damage onto Chishu as well. Love that trip. That trip is so good for B post-plant situations. You get the plant down here and the retake tries to come through that, it's very tough. It's also good for info in the mid-round, because you know that people haven't re-cleared through mid and pushed into window, for example. See how Team Heretics defaulting, just taking parts of the map, making it a bit more difficult for EDG to play. Yeah. However, the Chinese squad does still control A lobby, and that's what Rienz is looking to try to deny right now.
Paranoia held in the hands of Smoggy. He's going to have to follow up on this himself. Glides forwards, pulls out a dash. Evacuation by Minivu, still alive here with 35 seconds.
This is looking risky now, because EDG did not bite on that pressure over towards A. Chishu's been holding this down since the start of the round in Garage.
Oh, he's going to be tested. Tested and potentially rewarded. Could be the difference. Flash evaded. Fires off the shots though, and now they know exactly where he is. At least they should!
I shoot you.
They don't!
I shoot you.
Unanticipated, and Heretics paid a price in blood.
Nice round by EDG.
11 seconds left. Shot to pieces before they can even get into the
nice round, EDG. Well played, well played.
There's a round for EDG to try to stabilize, to try to find that belief. And there you're seeing Simon as well, with a rare
6 round जीत रहे हैं EDG को equalize करने के लिए.
These EDG players genuinely believe that they can win today. Kangkang said it, they've already accomplished an unimaginable goal at Champions. But you have to still have that hunger to go further beyond. Let's go! And you see him pumping up Simon in that moment. So important.
Keep the morale in check. Understand that it's 1 round at a time. It's what makes the best. The best. Elites on the stage if you have that composure. It will be a hard run back. Stun. Connects. Barely a hand pointed out. Chichu. Have to get out of there.
If you look at the way that EDG play this map against any opponent, they love re-clearing garage. Fault line, Chishu runs forward. Could be a spot that Team Heretics try to exploit, but at the moment it's working really nicely for EDG. Yeah. And if you control a lobby or long plus garage, you basically got the whole map.
Now broken before the reveal. Still just Sheriffs and a stinger in the hands of these Heretics players, but when it's up to 11, you never know when the next round's going to come. Here it is, Waller, Paranoia alongside it. The util is always going to be good and impeccable. Heretics hitting their shots, nailing them down. And Kang is forced to respond, coming up with all sorts of damage and goods. Players are toppled.
That would have been a kill there. Woot, he's got about the worst weaponry for the job, but Kang is playing with so much danger.
15 HP. One shot from Woot will do it. 13 seconds though, and now Woot's got to get that move on, picks up the upgrade. They know exactly where he is. Simon puts him out of misery. And EDG, they stay alive in the map.
Timeout call for Team Heretics. What a role that Kang now finds himself in, by the way. If you think back to when he first started in VALORANT, he was just a young boy with a dream.
Yeah.
And now he's in a position where he's almost like the experienced leadership figure for Simon, who is sat right next to him. The two are working in tandem so often in rounds.
बहुत tough है.
The support and the fragging.
EDG comeback करने के लिए proper ready है और ये सही time पे time out grab किया है. Momentum break करना चाहते हैं ये लोग. Time out ले लिया है. अपना पहला time out use कर रहे हैं Team Heretics. Map number 1
Turn the game from 11-3, which looks utterly unwinnable for EDG, to 11-6, where you're starting to think, okay, they might have a chance here.
Boulder hasn't budged really down the mountain yet. EDG is still going to attempt to push it up. 11-6 here, and like you said, they're still, at the back of their minds, they're thinking, oh, okay, are we losing track and slip of the map at least? I was going to say the series not quite there yet, still.
I think one of the things that you've got to notice, right, when you're Team Heretics in this position, is that Simon is often drifting over towards C. We're actually going to watch him set up for this big 4-player crunch towards A lobby. But if he is towards C, you should be able to take A long control a little easier at the start of these rounds. Now, if that was their read, EDG are already ahead of it.
I mean, it's a crazy mix-up. 4 players willing to fight this one, and I wonder if it's going to be a delay take. I've seen teams do this. Their show presence with the Sova. Just a feign like it's only the one holding.
Yep.
And this is going to be bloody. A skirmish laying in wait, dashing forward, stunned up on either side. Kang controlling the rifle, controlling the spray still. It's all Heretics, baby. Up in the feed in a 2v1. They paved their way towards the A site. Chichu seeking to get himself in there, trying to play ahead of the timings, but he can't dodge the paranoia. And it settles into the back of his mind. He hears the footsteps. Defense is necessary. Boo! Oh. My God! Wasn't even being defended in the moment.
What a shutdown. What awareness from Boo. I was not anticipating them to expect Chishu that early. He got to the site on a really fast timing. Look at how daft this fight is in A lobby. Everybody stunned up, trying to control their crosshair. But Heretics now, after winning that round, with Woot trading beautifully, they're up to 12.
Just one more stepping stone, all that stands between them and the map.
For the first time, EDG go for the walk down mid, and Team Heretics, they're having none of it. No. Full ults, baby, send them away.
Yep, and that's going to be clearing out most of the site. Boo sticks it down into hell. I know that A is easy access, so just a little bit of worry in the back of their minds about A short, still with that smoke that's propped up, and it's buying time and space potentially, but they're hearing these footsteps. Kang dodging, weaving, ducking from the bullets. Simon with a cage, not even in his face there. It's offloaded, ults, rattled back. The rolling thunder seeking to deny and delay some space. It's up to these players on the flank of EDG to see if they can do something. Kang's been left alone to his own devices. Tap of the rifle, beautiful, lands it still. Here's the cleanup crew arriving in kind. Dart from the side, wall up, Hunter's Fury, there is no escape. For the rest of his team, time has been bought. A punches, a mad dash and scramble. But an electrifying finish here to Haven.
Finish the first map. Team Heretics. ने लीड ले ली है 1-0 से EDG
stealing away EDG's
ने अच्छा ट्राई करा बट काफी ज्यादा डोमिनेशन था इस मैप पे EDG को ज्यादा दिक्कत आई है
home territory. What a knock. Were EDG expecting this comp? Were they expecting this ferocity? Have they adjusted to the stage?
We're going to be finding that out and more. This best of 5 is only just getting started. Do not go anywhere. You're watching the grand finals.
क्या गजब मैप हुआ है फर्स्ट मैप PCT ग्रैंड फाइनल्स टीम हेरेटिक्स ने ले लिया 1-0 से लीड और अब चांस है नेक्स्ट मैप में EDG को कम बैक करने का अगर EDG कम बैक नहीं करती है तो लग जाएंगे भाई तो टीम हेरेटिक्स नहीं छोड़ने वाली है फाइनल्स तो तीन मिनट है हम लोगों के पास तो मैं आ रहा हूँ 3 मिनट में बने रहो यार लाइव वीडियो को लाइक करो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो यार प्यार दिखाओ अपना लेट्स गो Let's go. आज मैं टाइम से आ रहा हूँ यार. कभी कभार मैं टाइम से लेट हो जाता हूँ, बट आज टाइम से ही आया हूँ और टाइम से ही स्टार्ट होगा.
Hey guys, we have Neil Zeno here of Team Heretics with me on stage. Congratulations on that first map. In prepping for a team like EDG, which you have faced off before, what tendencies or qualities of the team did you pay special attention to?
I mean, they're like most teams here. They've got really aggressive duelists. Kang's no different. The way they set him up is quite unique. Like, they send him in pretty heavy by himself, so we know if we can isolate him, we can kind of pick him off and kill him. So that was kind of the plan for Haven.
Well, we know how you guys feel about Sunset, which is coming up next, but how are you feeling about the map draft overall?
Yeah, the map draft was good. You know, they karma ban Ascent, which, you know, we'll play it, but the fact that we don't have to play it is nice. And yeah, the rest of the maps are good for us. So
Second map to EDG
keep playing our game, I think it's looking good.
All right, well, thank you very much, and best of luck out there.
It's a fantastic start for Team Heretics, and I'm back on the desk here. We are joined by Steel, we're joined by Mimi, and we have a very, very special guest all the way from Sentinels. It is Zelsis, the Vibe merchant even himself. I wanted to ask you, you rocked up with a Sen jersey. Why is that?
Well, you know, if I was playing today, I'd be wearing it. So I gotta rock it just for the grand finals, even if I'm in the crowd supporting. Yeah.
Oh, now I want to cry. But yeah, welcome Josh as well. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Yeah, the first game was looking real nice and spicy there for a little bit. I love the kind of sloppy back and forth fights as well.
Yeah, it has been very, very spicy so far. But let's talk about the vibes and what's been going on stage, because you're familiar with these boys. I know you're close to Benji, Vert as well. How important is it that they are able to bring this energy on a grand final?
Oh, I love it. I love to see it. I think like they all trust each other so much, like a brotherhood. Like they all love each other. Benji's always trolling or doing something stupid, like just funny. Mini Boo's the same. I always see him smiling and laughing. So it's really wholesome to see them just like enjoying the moment. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, they've really played up to the moment and are clearly like channeling the energy from that crowd and enjoying it in this match. And on the other side for EDG, I think you need to see more moments like that one from Kung, because overall this map felt a little bit flat from them. They couldn't get anything done in their default. They weren't doing a good job of breaking the Sentinel utility. It was just round after round of these kind of last-second executes that were falling to bits.
Well, to bring it back to the Heretic side of things, when you're in this crowd, the stadium is roaring and cheering, that pressure can get to you mentally. And when you have a way to channel that nervous energy into something positive and take your mind away from all this external stuff and focus inwards, that's when you're going to play your best and not focus on just what happens if you make a mistake.
Yeah, and I mean, there was a lot of mistakes that did end up happening for EDG, but I think Team Heretics as well showcased something that they've been really good at all tournament. This defensive side was
ये तो
excellent.
mistake ही की भाई, वहाँ plan कर सकता था, time था.
Was so good as that anchor.
Yeah, a big thing for Heretics is they leave Benji alone so much. It's just kind of like their rock. They trust them to either get in, push, or just hold down their sight and stay alive. Like, I think that's really big for their defense, and I mean it's been working for them, and you saw it here on Haven.
Yeah, and I mean this is technically a comp change to go back to the Neon, but I think Mini Boo looked so comfortable. They have a lot of nice set ideas to get the opening kill with him on this agent and get that early space in the round. It really felt like they were in control of this map.
Yeah, Team Heretics was out of touch, and EDG was out of time. And we got to see that a lot, I think, through the value of how Team Heretics was playing that Cypher, getting that deep C-long value with a camera, and that allowed them to pivot where they set up their defense, and usually it was towards that A side, B side. There's always 4 players from Team Heretics ready to receive EDG.
And that brings us to our HyperX reflex moment of the day, and this one goes to Rians in round 10. We spoke about how he has the potential to be the MVP of this tournament. Would you agree, Zelsis?
Oh yeah, I mean, everyone has their flowers on Heretics, but this guy for me, he's shown through and through again in playoffs, like plus 20 every series, going plus 10, getting these like clutch moments here where he's getting executed on. He has supportive util, but he's just going forward, like he's not scared to take a fight, and I think that's really big as your initiator player.
Yeah, I feel like he's so good when he's like the player who's flooding in to help that side anchor hold on to his side. He does a great job of finding exactly the right moment in the chaos to use his dart where it's not going to get broken, and then find the kill, find the swing off of that as well. He's just been so consistent all event long.
I mean, for EDG, not a great start, but I'm going to cope for a second. Every single series they have won in this tournament, they have lost map 1. And still, you know, you're a pro player, you've been out there. How much do you think maybe nerves contribute to a start like this?
nerves could definitely contribute to it, but I look at how Team Heretics was playing yesterday. I look how they're coming into today, and the way that they've been playing. I have to look at looking at one side, how well they're playing, as opposed to is EDG playing down. We've seen them play to a low level. We've seen their highs. I don't think EDG is really playing a bad game right now. Team Heretics is just hitting new highs constantly.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for EDG is what I'd like to see is them kind of, I feel like they were kind of slow on Haven, and I think they needed Haven for this series. I think Heretics stealing that away was kind of the same as the Lev series. They win that first map, they're really confident, they're coming in, they want to win, they're playing aggressive. I think for EDG, I want them to be a little faster, be a little more confident. When they are confident, you know, they look like they're having fun, and it just doesn't look like they're having fun right now.
And specifically on this attacking side of Sunset, I think that has to come down to the ideas they're going to have to take early space on this map. They've been known this tournament for some of those set plays between Simon and Kung Kung to claim those areas of the map. And in the mid-round as well, actually dealing with the Cypher utility that Benji Fishy is going to be using on this map is so important, because Team Heretics was able to call so many massive rounds just off a gamble stack because that Cypher util wasn't being broken map 1.
I've seen how Kong Kong's played this map before and taking control of everything by himself, not even having to be set up. But the way that Heretics is fighting back right now, I don't know if he can do that again by himself.
Guys, now Zelsis, we've got Brennan
Sideshow waiting for us to get into the map. Would you like to do the honors and toss it over to them?
Oh my gosh, Brennan Sideshow, have fun. Really happy for you guys catching the finals. Let's send it over to Brennan Sideshow.
Dude, that is excellent. That is excellent. Okay, I love that. I love that. Let's get into it. Map 2 here. A new staging ground selected here to Sunset. The desk has been teeing up, setting us up on nicely, talking about it. It's a middle ground map for both of these teams, and, you know, judging on what we saw from that first map, Heretics, you'd have to lean over towards their side, I would say, I think, in terms of giving them the slight edge.
Yeah, it's interesting because it is a middle ground in terms of both teams like to play it, but it's actually towards the top of both teams' map pools. Yeah. So whereas we started on a map, no team had won on here at Champions, now we get to Sunset, where both teams should be feeling very comfortable. One of the things to look at for the Team Heretics defense that was working beautifully against Lev.
Hi bro, Gamer. Welcome to the stream, yeah.
He throws one at the beginning over towards
first map insane.
Just to see if it's going to be a fast A exec, but he's got mid-round knives as well.
Second map all
to play slowly. You heard it from the desk. They want to see the pace increase from EDG. They'll have to get through the trip first.
Not just that as well. Players on Heretics' side floating towards the positions. Ready to stack this one at a moment's notice. Woot is ready to strike. Shot darts forward. Trips are broken. Holding for it. That's a dry swing and peek by Heretics, but to no avail.
Well, you see 3 players there. Does that mean that you want to go now over towards A? And if so, Boo was holding a one-way until it sunk into the floor.
Losing track of A main. Forced to jiggle.
But this is where the knife can come in handy. Look at Woot setting up the knife lineup. Oh.
He is. He's just thrown it. It's up and over.
So that's going to give them a little bit of info. When it only tags, well, in fact, when it tags onto 0 players over towards elbow, that's a slightly different knife. They're going to know and keep the stack on B. Woot's so good at that.
Yep, stacking from Heretics. They've got bodies ready to respond once more. Kang's forward though, steps up to that challenge still. Out through the back, mini boost here, jumping around with the right clicks in hand. Kang not enough to offset it, and still players are getting brutalized, trying to enter their way in through this side with 15 seconds left to spare. EDG, Simon forced to stick this paranoia. It's picture perfect. Boo is low, hearing it. Not gonna go. Chichu's there with a flash in his face, still. Tied up close to the corner, Boo. In that one.
Nice, Boo. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, guys. पहला राउंड आ चुका है EDG के लिए.
Beginning that EDG were hoping for.
They did manage to take
जल्दी
the
से
pistol
वीडियो को
on
लाइक
Haven
करो
too.
यार,
So
चैनल को
still
सब्सक्राइब करो.
plenty more
Let's go.
that they'll have to do to prove they're capable of riding the ship. But considering they went into a stack there, considering there was 4 players looking to defend the site, the way that they fragged their way through that, it's got to give you a lot of confidence. The calling still getting them into trouble just a little.
Shots.
Another thing to take a look at because nobody's attack side calling is running them out of time constantly on Haven. But it is so tricky to play against Heretics. They've got some slow-paced rounds, they've got some contact re-clears, big util re-clears if you try to insert a player. And like I said, those knives coming through from Woot, deadly to play against.
Extremely disciplined team too. They've got an idea, it's never really going to be an individual throwing their life line without good reason.
No, certainly not. Always doubled up. And this is a round where EDG have got to come through it cleanly. Only one player choosing not to purchase, that's Shishu. So if you're looking for somebody to go and gain information on an aggro lurk, that will be his job. They can suffer one death without an economic casualty.
Wandering around a little bit, nobody was sticking around through B main.
If there is a reclear though, it could catch him. In a round like this, you're unlikely to see reclears though, more likely to see gamble stacks on ecos. And EDG look like they found a clean entrance to the A site.
30 seconds
left. He's going to lead the way. Who hears all this noise as well is going to be calling now for the rotation, especially with the plant. Committed by Simon. Ult steadily being accrued as well. Simon's only 2 away. He might want to be hunted down some of these eco kills.
I must wait a moment.
I've spots it. Dart, excuse me. Broken. And Heretics falling here. Too much available in terms of options that they can go for. The firepower, the weaponry, not quite there in this round.
And keeping it superbly clean. Yeah. Nothing lost at all. The flawless comes through. Simon 2 away from being able to get null command online.
EDG comeback
a massive ultimate to try to just drive things into B, for example. Turn off all of Benji's utility. I wonder if Heretics already in this round are going to be thinking about denying ult orbs.
Let's go!
Let's go, let's go.
Look at the energy that Kankang's providing to the rest of his team as well.
It's unreal.
I talked about it on Haven as being infectious, but it looks like it's taken a little while to set in. They were a bit timid, I think.
Yeah. New to a match as big as this on the global stage as well. As you said, it takes a while to set in and realize actually we deserve to be here. We're good enough players, we've earned our spot. It's all about grasping it when opportunities are present. Denied entry just from the nade, a fragment. Nice forwards. Drone is also going to be broken. Woot on the back step. Still that trip. Placed down here. There needs to be an attempt by EDG. Benji tries to reset with the aim. Actually dropped down to his knees.
Oh my god.
He's taking chunks out of him.
2v3.
Minibu now.
Oh my god, Chichu.
Head's popped off. Chichu's not stopping. Who's left to do it all in a 1v3 and feeling it now.
Bonus को convert कर दिया है EDG ने 3-0. Buying round loss कर गई अपना, lose कर गई.
There's another MVP candidate for EDG. I think Chishu's had a monster
bonus round हार चुकी है
to
team
take his
Heretics.
team to the finals. And he was slow, couldn't really get going on Haven, wasn't put in the right positions by his team. Here, barrels forward, hitting shots. Those 3 sheriff kills are instrumental in getting his team the bonus round. Without those, there wasn't a hope.
It's a beautiful round to convert the bonus. EDG, as I said, they will be happy with it. Bit of bait and switch there by Kankang, but not enough to avoid the knife. That's going to get good info for Heretics. Tagging onto multiple players. Might call for the rotations. They are on the weaker buy after all, so could make some riskier plays.
Brent, both Minibu and Simon are 1 away from their ults, and those interact with each other, right? If Minibu gets it online before Simon does, he can't pop the null command to take the showstopper offline. Whoever gets it up first is going to have a slim window of opportunity.
Orb is free real estate. Minibu creeping up onto the line as well, side by side with Boo, but they're taken out.
And shut down. Just as we were talking about it, Simon claims to swinging through elbow.
At this point, might not even feel like the ult is necessary to invest.
Not at all.
Shot.
Now this is clean again. Just as similar as round 2. These anti-ecos taken fairly cautiously. Giving respect to Heretics, but then dealing with the threats beautifully.
Oh, time.
ADM, Fishy, no long for the world.
One more round for EDG.
You were talking about settling into big games like this, and I think I saw exactly the same last time EDG came out on stage.
EDG का domination दिख रहा है इस map
against
में.
Leviathan, Icebox.
4-0
I felt like
से
Simon
आगे
was
है.
choking pretty terribly, actually. It was his first game in the arena. His fragging's gone down over the course of the tournament as the stakes have gone up. But what would you expect from a player where it's his first global event He does seem a little painfully shy in some of these interviews, so it's great to see the emotion and the freedom coming out of him in these replays that you're seeing here. If he can get going in these rounds, he's 3-1 at the moment.
Absolutely.
And not just be playing supportively. Like I said, his supportive utility is immaculate. They've drilled that into him perfectly. But once he also gets those impact kills going, as he was in the group stage, that's when you've got a deadly team.
Oh, he's a beast. He's looked like it all tournament long. EDG, just need to pick yourselves up sometimes, and luckily had that time in between the maps to do exactly that, you know, just making sure that the mental was on track. And Heretics are forced to take the time out here with being 4 rounds down. I mean, as much as I'm talking about the mental, the crumble, the pressure on the big stage, and all of this pinpointing your career, it's on either side as well. Despite the fact that Heretics did dismiss EDG on that opening map, they still have new players. Now listen, they've been in the finals themselves, but they're still young. I've seen evidence of that. The DRX game, I think, was a perfect example, where Heretics and DRX were both kind of trading blows. It was scrappy, it was messy, it was muddy, some might say.
EDG are going to have to apply similar levels of pressure to this, though, to get that same crumble from Team Heretics that, honestly, you're right, we have seen it in the past. Miniboo with his ult here looks to try to take the fight. 0 point broken as well, so still has access to that ult, those abilities. And with the nade being thrown on the B side of the map and Miniboo not being turned off, they want no part of it.
Yeah, EDG all the way up through mid as well. This time it might not be anticipated. Benji!
Sure.
He's gone, he's taken out. The swipe of a hand and a glide from Kang, man. Woot needs to try and make the play.
Oh my god.
Attempt to dominate the angle. Broken to pieces here, and now 3 to stand for Heretics on through this retake. Simon's ult will fade, just spotting barely onto the shoulder, but a kill is all that Heretics were really potentially hoping for there. Now, settling back into the positions, looking to save it for the next round. It was a full investment from Heretics into this. There was a timeout as well. There was everything pointing towards this needed to be the turning point for them.
Take all round EDG ke liye
I think that's exactly what EDG, what the desk were looking for.
5 rounds की lead आ चुकी है, 5-0 पर है EDG.
They made the decision instantly. As soon as they heard the nade coming out and an aggressive B main take, you know that teams are doing that with usually 3 players in B main. You know that Miniboo's over there and he has Showstopper and you don't want to be messing with that. And so they instantly call an A split. And once more, who is it that breaks the crosshair of Benji Fishing? Breaks his wrist in the middle of it too? Kanka.
Steel was mentioning on the desk, you know, he sees this guy, he will
Kang
just try
ने
and take
दिखा
fights by
दिया
himself.
भाई
Sometimes
अपना
about
जादू दिखा दिया pushing में.
It's because he's so potent, man.
Chichu तो भाई
He knows that he is the
unbelievable shots मारे.
of this story, this tale that's being
Sharif shot तो
here by
खतरनाक
EDG.
था भाई उसके.
Their own attempt to try and carve themselves into the history books.
When he played against Leviathan, he took 30 first duels, which is bonkers already. He won 20 of them.
He's just different, especially when he's firing on all sorts of cylinders.
Chishu looking to take an aggressive timing up here.
So aggressive.
Yeah, Riens and Miniboo both had their opportunities to try to contest this, but looking to back off and play slightly more passive angles, just to stop people entering with that trip.
There's still danger here for EDG, trying to play this attack. Simon used the ult prior. Miniboo's holding on to the showstopper. If you let time be your enemy, it's a game-winning ult in the hands of Miniboo.
No assistance here for Boo to get back onto the angle, so that drone just forces him back a step in elbow. Nobody's looking to test it. This is where you get the advantage of having an aggro IGL like nobody, because he's willing to... He's down to limit test.
Might be calling as well for the rotate, but they do pull out the drone. That's Heretics aiming to clear up the fog of war.
I think nobody's done a great job there of pushing Boo back twice. Once with the drone back into elbow, and then again to push him all the way back off A.
5 seconds, though.
It's going to weaken the B site massively. I mean, look at these players in spawn scrambling for Heretics.
In through spawn.
30 seconds left.
As you said, knife through the back now, EDG. Set their sights over towards the B site. Making a move now over towards it. Back site is granted and gained. Simon with the plant. Up on a bound there. Nade rebounds, but Smog is already collecting all sorts of kills.
फिर से advantage आ चुकी है EDG के पास.
They need an opening
Man
to feel
advantage
that
भी है
willingness, I
और.
think, to expend this ultimate here. Miniboo!
Yeah, boy.
Shot down, cut down. Phantom spray by Kang. Needs to be heroics, up and over with the flash. Whoop, at least taking out Kang, but time is going to start ticking. The bait and switch setup just does not work. Nobody stands tall against any sort of challenges.
Benji.
What a different map we're watching here. What a different look for EDG compared to the way that they fell over on Haven, where we saw the inexperience and the nerves playing out. Everything is crisp.
I must wait a moment.
Benji just cowering, hoping he survives. 6 rounds in a row. They need this gun. Stand a chance to bail them out. It's going to be granted at least that. But this is a map that is slipping away from Heretics.
It is. It's already a phenomenal attack side for EDG. They would only need another, round or two, and it would be super successful. Miniboo looked like he didn't understand that the smoke was going down there, or possibly didn't anticipate somebody would be holding an unusual off angle.
Omen.
And things are looking loose out there for EDG.
It's all smiles.
Nobody on Heretics has more than 2 kills across 6 rounds.
Money again is just being stretched thin.
Oh my god, Kang!
But he opens it up and potentially closes out the round with that one. It's a first kill with no follow-up inside again from Heretics.
Heretics still have the best 4v5 win rate in the tournament. I mean, out of all teams, they were the ones who specialized in that.
Utah was broken. Flash to try and set this one up. That is a desperation play if I've ever seen one. You mentioned it, Josh. Best 4v5 win rate, but if you don't get that initial trade, which is so core to the way that Heretics play,
yep, then you're in a
be in trouble.
Much more difficult spot. That's why Rian's tried to equalize it there. Yeah. And now they're going to be in tough spots again.
Exploring, potentially. They're calling for it. Underhanded with the flash. There's too many targets to really deal with. Still that 1 for 1! And now space created and taken. Kang not to be denied any sort and semblance of the side. Woot dodging, juking, but again this guy is relentless.
He's got them every impact kill in the round, Kang. He's just been everywhere for EDG.
Cannot be stopped. Boo obtains the upgrade. Nails the first one. It's an obstacle removed, but 2 more where that came from. And Kang, this guy, look at it.
7-0. EDG on fire.
He's so confident.
EDG on
from
fire.
Team Heretics is giving him reason to be otherwise. He destroyed Miniboo in that opening fight. He's actually caught up on the scoreboard to Shishu, who was 10-0 in the first 4 rounds. Was completely snapped there. And then Kang again being able to win a duel against Rien's MVP candidate for Team Heretics. That opens up elbow, piece by piece. His layered aggression takes the map away. I'd like to see Team Heretics change up the way they're playing the defense side. I think, despite me talking about some of the things they were doing well, like Woot Side, for example, broadly speaking, when they played against Lev, I was a bit disappointed with how Team Heretics were playing on what used to be home territory for them. They're going to take their second tag time out here. One of the things I'd like to see them adjust is to have more of these big defense players.
Team Heretics के नाम रहा जिसमें उनका fully domination दिखा हम लोगों को और अब second map में EDG का एक insane वाला एक खतरनाक वाला domination दिख रहा है हम लोगों को जिसमें एक round भी वो जाने नहीं दे रही है Team Heretics के पास
for Kang to get set up with all of the pretty util he needs to go and carve through you.
All right.
Now, should they do that on this round? Probably not. They've got 5 sheriffs and light armor.
It's a good time to get active.
Sure. But I think it's really round 9 where you want to try to start some kind of a comeback. And this one, you just see if you can hit your shots.
It's going to be dodged. Predictable here for the EDG players. And Orb's farmed up alongside it. Boo's just trying to take away any advantage he can in this round.
Woot's also trying to stay mobile as well, right? Uses the knife on one side of the map, now rotates very quickly to top mid. This is looking like a crunch in middle.
It does. KO set up and ready. Woot's right behind him.
Flash, recon, nade coming.
Yeah, hearing that drone, you're going to see the dart through the back, and now there's that paranoia swinging through, but the timing on that smoke is just impeccable. Woot does not feel like he can step past that one. Kang's straight through and out with Benji, Fishy. Taken out.
That's the kind of spot where I'd like to see them commit to it. You know that there's a player trapped there. If they were running Neon on this map, that would be a situation where Miniboo would stun and run at the defender in mid.
Oh, but he's a bit brave to take this fight, but the dart Spots it out, and now another re-clear call. It's Gang, man! He's barely on any sort of life at all. Hanging on by a thread, yet still navigates the danger. Takes out the half-pipe. Knew where Boo was from prior. They've run him down, hunted him down! They want him to get that ace! Stand up, take a bow, whatever you like. Listen, it might have been against the ecos, but take the aces where you can get them.
And I think that shows you the difference. Kang was still playing really well with all of that pressure in map 1. I think he's just the kind of person that, you know, forged into a diamond under pressure.
Oh, yeah.
But for everybody else, I mean, you look at the way that Simon is bunny hopping towards him in that spot. You don't do that if you're feeling stiff, if you're feeling nervous. 8-0, EDG have no reason to be. Heretics still haven't come up with the answer here. Can move to top mid, trying to rotate these defensive positions. Woot holds the knife at the beginning. Looking to maybe save it for the execute.
Big group up. See, the drone is a good time to use it. Would cancel it out.
Yeah.
It's just that.
Decides to. The drone actually still got tons of value there in terms of info. You know that there aren't players holding in these tight corners nearby.
So many ults for Heretics. If you're going to put a round on the board, wipe out that goose egg. It's got to be now. Mini Boo, ADS'd up. Just trying to lean onto those reaction times here, but with every single passing moment, EDG are just disrespecting this. They're all the way in through the back of the site. That's a dart connecting. Flash the follow-up as well.
Timing
all for this world. Showstopper rebounds, but only the one. Nobody has done all the work.
Huge fight.
Overdrive. Offloaded. Quick pivots. Smoggy's around. Norofef connects. And alongside the Paranoia still. Tangled up, tied up. Benji Fishy is alone. He's isolated on a bloody island. And they want the kill.
There's no reason to go into him whatsoever here. EDG, I think, have overthought it, but it didn't make a spot of difference. They had access to either site they wanted to go to in this round.
10 seconds left.
10 seconds, but this time it's not going to be even a shadow similar to Haven. Those rounds where the clock denied and EDG's attacks like Colin looked dismal. This could not be more different.
It's looking like almost a clean sweep, and Benji, no luxuries granted or given. No rifle for the next. It's 9 in a row for EDG now.
They've completely activated.
Yeah.
Wu couldn't hold on in the back of the site. Miniboo got destroyed as soon as he popped his ult. I thought we were going to see Simon. He was saving the knife to try to deny it. But this turnaround is truly ridiculous.
होगा क्या हिस्ट्री में पहली बार
13-0 करेंगे while the rest of his team is saving. Could there be a more desperate play?
EDG have been contacting quite a bit, but it's the initial knife that you got to dodge. Let's do that. Nobody from droning further back. No access, and they spot the op out. They know exactly what they've been cooking.
They're not breaking the drone as it comes through B main. They're not denying space that nobody's taking away from them. It screams desperation. Team Heretics very rarely run out of ideas. One of the big reasons they've been one of our best teams of 2024, but right now, Stratbook looks cooked.
Bloody hell, used the momentum of the trap wire, spraying them down here. The teammates had his back. And Kang will fall, not without their reward.
Man advantage.
Hello, Rians, right from behind,
advantage.
Nobody's going to try and offset this now. Even Smoggy side by side, could beat by Boo. This is just getting ridiculous. Dart through alongside that Paranoia, reclaiming the space, and the spike alongside it.
It looks like Rians might have an opportunity to do it all. He's on the flank, creeping up behind Smoggy.
Best chance in a long while to get around, especially when it's just down to Smoggy. 1v2. Rians creeping, crawling up onto the angle. Reveals his hand with the deep dart. Clears him out, gives that peace of mind. Up close and personal. Boo. Looking to break the box. He's just missed the timing, but he spotted the barrel. And there will be no betrayal this time. It's all on the side of Smoggy.
Finally, Team Heretics के लिए एक राउंड आता होगा इस हाफ में. Finally, एक राउंड. वरना मुझे लग रहा था कि 13-0 होने वाला है.
How is that the round that they end up getting on the board? Rien's popped. They played a little quicker though. They were more willing to take risks. This walkout through market.
किसका आइडिया था कि हम लोग सेविंग राउंड में ऑफ बाय करेंगे बू के लिए?
Insane. Good job. Nice shot, Senas.
They're going to need plenty more where that came from.
Exactly. Hidden reserves are going to need to be tapped into. Heretics doubled up, trying to hold it, stun. Good connection, reveal onto all of them, and now the side swipe! They all topple, they all fall. An attempt by Benji Fishy is all for naught. Just
क्या domination है भाई?
Down to that spectator seat, forced to watch this round play out.
They were not ready for the stun coming out from Kang at all. They also weren't ready for the fast player coming towards A-Link. Just expecting everyone through elbow. Heretics are getting pulled to pieces here. This does not look like the dominance we witnessed from them earlier this year on Sunset. No one could touch them on this map.
It's round 11. You want to got the one round, it's a 2v4, but surely you got to make a play for it.
I wouldn't have believed you if you said to me after that first half of Haven that the next map was going to be more dominant the other way around. We saw a 9-3 half.
Yeah.
EDG only won round 12 in the pistol follow-up.
It's absurd.
And yet this has even been more one-sided.
Yeah.
There's not even been a single round where Heretics, I feel, have been properly in it. The only one that they won was where they had a glass cannon operator and ran at people hitting sheriff shots.
Both teams matching each other, just trying to go for the gold split. Missed the memo. This game's done quick apparently, but you can see from these kills here, the high tempo increase is called. They know that Boo's got an op. As soon as they realize the op is not in play over there, they just want to try and run over them. This is EDG with a full read. They took a peek at the book and the scripture. They knew what Heretics were cooking.
Deep recon to try to set up. Boo's made his way over towards B. They are still trying to change up these defensive spots. One trip broken.
Front clears. TP backing away.
Are they reading the pinch through market?
I mean, listen, they're going to have a vice grip onto these defending players, anchoring or not in through the cage, just trying to stay alive, trying to dodge and weave all sorts of bullets. And nastiness is coming their way. Boo, a flick adjustment. It's just not there in time. It's overwhelming. This aura that EDG are giving out. 11-1 is where we stand at the half.
Resilience shown from EDG. If you opened up this grand finals and you were worried there was going to be a blowout, that EDG were going to crumble at the final moment after already making history and fall, it does not appear that that's going to be the case today. They have struck back hard.
Like I was saying, those hidden reserves are well and truly there. Let's send it down to the floor for an interview with the voice actor of Jet.
Hey guys, what's up? Jen Lee here with Shannon Williams, the voice actor of Jet. 제트 성우 샤넌님 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 안녕하세요. 가장 먼저 현재 발로란트 씬에서 많이 사랑받고 있는 제트라는 요원의 목소리가 또 샤넌님이시잖아요. 어떤 느낌인지부터 여쭤보고 싶습니다. You know, Shannon, Jet's been around for a long time. She's so popular. She's dominating in the Valorant scene. What's it like to be the voice of the agent that's been loved for such a long time?
ये मत EDG है भाई, क्या कर रहे हैं ये?
I'm just so like honored and
grateful
that a lot of people love Jet.
कुछ नहीं कर रहे, बस गजब कर रहे हैं.
She most definitely holds a big piece of my heart and is very much a spirit animal, a different side to me that I was able to put into that character. So yeah, I'm honored to have everyone love her as much as I do.
너무너무 놀랍고 너무 감사하고 영광이라고 얘기를 하시고요. 그리고 이제 제트를 이렇게 사랑해주셔서 감사하다고 얘기함과 동시에
इतना easy map number 2 देख पा रहा हूँ मैं EDG के लिए. इतना सही domination दिखाया है EDG ने अपना कि कोई बात ही नहीं कर सकता कि यहाँ पे lose हो रही है.
부탁드려보도록 할게요. What are your favorite voice lines?
Oh wow. I think I have two. I mean, of course, like the alt voice line, and then the newest Ace voice line. I think are my favorites.
Say it, please.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll do the Ace one. Okay. Woohoo! Ba-bum, ba-bum.
Oh my god.
One more. I got one more. Okay. Get out of my way!
Get out of my way! Shannon, that was great. Thank you for the interview. Okay, now everybody, here's my impression of the Jet. Watch this! Second half.
Oh, watch out for your job, Jen's coming.
Yeah. So Jen's been popping off the wall to introduce this entire event here, but in case you're just joining us, 11-1. Well, we're looking at what we're sitting at, and listen, EDG, as we said prior, if you told me that they were able to come back in this fashion, in this form after that map one, which is a 13-6 for Heretics, I would have said you're dreaming.
Yeah. I think it's your classic candidates that are going crazy right now. Kankan was just getting them every fight, and Chishu was dominating as well. The openers, the closers.
Flash connects, Chichu, lucky to be alive there. 1 HP, quite literally. Just tucks himself away behind a pillar. Alive for now, so the setup remains up.
It's a nice idea from Team Heretics, trying to get that punish on the Cypher, who's often going to be trying to play aggro towards B main. There's a trip there, and they know it, and there's the punish, actually. Pretty good. You got to be able to shut down Kong Kong in these rounds. That's certainly something that Heretics have learned.
Gotta get that info. Timing's miss. Wait a second. Players are there, ready for the trade. Boo to respond.
That might make them think that there's nobody home at B, because why would somebody be pushing out and anchoring the site? And yet there are actually two people ready to defend this.
Smoggy and Chichu. Not quite shoulder to shoulder. Smoggy's on that high ground angle, perched up. Barely peer over that smoke that's just dropped up. Blossoms, blooms. Chichu is getting brave. 29 seconds left. They gotta know at this point, but with the walking in play, contacts by Heretics. Finally, a few stray shots hitting. Damage done onto the other side of things. Trying to go for the swing. Paranoia sweeps through and through the smoke. They knew that Chichu was low. 13 seconds. Time becoming an issue. EDG. Smoggy. Definitive chances. Nade rebound. Smoggy trying to play himself back in here. Doubled up side by side. It's Heretics. Drifting, missing. And the shots matter right now.
Oh my god, Smoggy!
God damn,
what the fuck is
He's
this,
not giving
man?
Heretics an inch.
What the fuck?
There is
Team Heretics भूलना चाहेगी ये मैप. ये Team Heretics ये मैप भूलना चाहेगी.
Not an inch. Heretics have done everything to try to set them up for that round win. To get a pistol that could have maybe gone somewhere. At least giving them some hope, even if it was false. And Smoggy shuts the door in their face.
One enemy remaining.
Beautiful shots towards the end. Shuts the door in their face and the map almost theirs. One more step is all they have to take. A 13-1 in the grand finals.
Surely we've never had a more dominant map than that in a grand finals before. I can't remember one.
Can't recall. Put it on a show right now.
Another round where Kankan does end up falling early. It's hard to see that it would matter at all, though.
My eyes are down.
All or nothing for Heretics. That investment did bear fruit. Double up, jumping alongside it, trying to bait these players right back in as well. Simon is being pushed, warded into this corner, and the util ricocheting, rebounding. A desperate effort to save his life. All for naught here on the side of EDG. An all-in attempt now, spraying them down. Spectre in hand, Chichu only able to get the one.
Smoggy once more in a 1vx scenario. This time an extra player. But he's caught a really quick timing again. It could actually be doable.
He's low. Doesn't want to reveal his position with a bit of stray spam. He's just perched up. High ground, up and around here. Bulldog spray, but dropped down to 27 health. Time begins to tick. Who will swing as soon as there's contact? Signs of that live.
Oh, nice movie, nice try, bro.
I think if that first kill had
एक
been
और
a
हो
bit cleaner
जाता
on
तो
the
भाई
bench
ये
of
तो
Fishy,
खत्म ही था
Smokey
मैच.
could have had that one. You see the way that EDG are playing though. Simon, so first of all, Kankan just tries to take contact. Then Simon holds his ground.
Revenge
And then you see
complete.
Chishu just break drone and stay exactly where he is too. The way that EDG are currently playing, they believe they're better and they're forcing Team Heretics round by round, moment by moment to prove that that's not the case. EDG are not going to give them a shred of extra respect unless Heretics earn it.
There's a pause and a timer.
And that's brutal.
It only mean a few things.
Because if this was in a tense scenario,
yeah,
you'd be thinking the
technical
tension
pause
is ridiculous.
The groan from the audience.
Technical pause, yeah.
But a tech pause in a moment like this is absolutely brutal for Heretics, I think. There are a few instances where some kind of pause in the action might ice the team that's got momentum. But EDG's momentum all came from the first half, and Heretics are just now left to sit silently, can't even talk about what's going wrong, can't add any levity to the moment. They just have to fester in what a mess they've made of what used to be their dominant map.
See, crowd being led to chance as well. That's the Heretics side of the court.
Yeah, you don't.
A lot of family and friends are staying.
Honestly, you don't need to lead the crowd in EDG chants.
You really don't.
I think they are certainly the favourites here in Seoul. We've had quite a lot of Chinese fans, I think, coming in. It's a short hop away, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, listen, right over the sea. Maybe a bit of land in the process. Yeah, you do land. Right here in our finals, getting a little bit of a wave going. I do appreciate that. But I do love it. I mean, Heretics.
It's coming towards us.
I was about to say, is it coming towards us?
Yeah.
Give it a go. Hold on. What, you lifted your arms too early?
No, you were mad
late.
I
missed it. I was looking at. Oh, mate.
You were crazy late.
I was looking at the screen. I completely missed it. But Heretics, after kind of being the bane of existence for the Chinese teams in Shanghai, making it to the finals themselves, they almost became like the hometown favorite themselves. They were getting all the cheers.
Yeah, they're certainly a respected team for the Chinese fans, but there's a difference, I think, between respect and love, adoration.
Oh, yeah.
And all of that is poured out en masse for EDG. It's not just as well that the Chinese fans get behind any Chinese team. They do to some extent, of course, but EDG are the sentinels of China. They are above, far beyond the other teams in terms of how voracious the Chinese fans' appetite is for their players, for the media, for their success as well.
That kind of scrutiny, it can break you as players, as teams as well. There's been tons of pressure on EDG to try and pick themselves back up, because honestly, first two international events, it was essentially a no-show from them.
Yeah, it was a very sad beginning to the year, actually. I was worried that EDG wouldn't be able to cope under the pressure, because it was enormous.
Crashing and burning out of Shanghai, but from the ashes, they've rebuilt themselves, with Simon coming in, moving to supplement the coaching staff, and you can see what a difference it's made.
Yeah, Kankan's just been phenomenal, honestly. He's one of those players that right from the beginning of his story represented China on the global stage. He's always been the player that people look at. Sometimes those kind of players, sometimes they fall off over time.
Yeah.
They're really good at the start, but they're explosive. They just don't have what it takes to be able to evolve as the team evolves. I think it's not just that Kankan has evolved as his team has evolved. He's actually led the evolution of EDG.
ये मैं नहीं भूल सकता मैं. EDG का performance नहीं भूल सकता मैं.
To grow as he's gotten older, to realize his own dreams.
I'd agree.
Too
Making sure
difficult.
that Simon is up to scratch as well. There are rookies on either side, of course, on both sides of the stage, and just getting whispers of the ETA. Looks like the problem might be fixed. I say might be because, listen,
हम जरूर tech pause पे हैं. But EDG ने जो आज अपना revenge complete किया है Heaven का, उनका picking map था और उसमें domination से आ रहे. But ये domination थोड़ा अलग ही है.
We can allocate
क्योंकि यहाँ पे तो choke किया गया है Team Heretics को.
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't.
बहुत ज़्यादा difficult.
Kankan was talking too about their
Grand
losses.
finals में ऐसी score lines
they knew
second team को बिल्कुल ही
they looked
पीछे
back
भेज
on Masters
देगी.
Shanghai and they knew that they need to be
अब
working
next
hard,
map
doing
देखना होगा
better,
कि
showing
क्या
their
Team
resilience.
Heretics इस सिचुएशन से निकल पाएगी क्योंकि ये बहुत ज़्यादा खराब सिचुएशन है और टेक टॉस ओवर हो गया है मैच वापस से स्टार्ट हो चुका है हम मैप नंबर 2 में हैं हेवन जीत चुकी है टीम हेरिटिक्स सनसेट पे लगभग जीत चुकी है EDG मतलब फाइनली जीत ही चुकी है
The EDG economy in a bad spot, so they're looking to take risks. I would have loved to see this a little more, I think, from Heretics when they were on the defense side. Going for that triple push down through mid.
Seven smiles up.
You got to expect more.
Yeah, they certainly do. Holding for the angles. Wait, they've missed one. Kang Kang. Kang Kang. Doing the damage.
He's one. Immediately reacts, thinking that somebody's going to be there trying to punish him, but now can go back and pick up that Guardian.
See if he can do anything else with it. Still 2v4. Heretics into the post plant themselves too.
Giving the Guardian over to Shishu. Very confident in his own Sheriff aim by the look of things.
Yeah, maybe the better course as well to try and go down to the spike, but...
I think Miniboo's missed the timing there.
No punish on the jump spot though. Miniboo, one more kill. Gets him up to the ult for the next. Still EDG want to try and play into this one here. Rolling forwards, what a shot! Magnetic to the dome. Stun connects, Miniboo though responds. Leaves it down to Chichu, Shark Dance rebounding, weakening him, softening him. Miniboo himself gets the 3-piece in the round.
Little scary there, Miniboo, but what a shot he pulled out. Stunned up, made sure that Kong Kong would not run away with that. But they would need another 9 rounds to make this possible, and even that would only get things to overtime. It's a foregone conclusion that we're heading towards Lotus anyway, no matter what. But the manner in which we get there to Lotus might make all the difference. EDG set up to repel this.
Paranoia. Does the job. EDG cleared off the angles. Miniboo misplay there with at least the boombot. Doesn't clear the corner like he was hoping. They're smoking their face too, so second guessing themselves of whether or not they want to make the moves over towards A.
Simon's so diligent. He's always got the read on what's going on. He's just holding the knife here, waiting for that showstopper. And the more he doesn't use it, the more it denies Miniboo from getting into a good position where he can actually find value.
Absolutely. Drone. Spots the one.
Yeah, I mean, that tells you everything. You know that they're not going to be hitting A in the next 10 seconds, and you also know that they've tried to insert somebody. So they could go for the re-hit later.
Certainly, even an open sight, Chichu. So there's going to be much safety for him to cross back up and away here. The dart spells it out for him. Trip's going to be cleared. EDG a rapid though onto the approach, but Boo has got it handled nicely. Clean shot. Once more, you've removed that heavy hitter. Team Heretics falling back, reconfiguring into this round. Through B, Miniboo's going to be taking point and contact. Oh, feeling like it was necessary, and well, still alive and kicking, but potentially not for long. Yes, Smoggy returns it straight away. Straight bullets, all it takes. EDG now to try and chew through this hold. In through B main, a tap onto the spike. Accounting for Boo, he just absolutely overwhelms onto that spot in position, and nobody, not long for it.
A nice round from Heretics. Good plant, Cam on the plant as well. They have so many layers there. Miniboo pushed up, aggro on the post plant, drawing out info, managing to go 1-for-1. Cam and Spam play the Heretics love running on both sides of the map. Fragment grenade too. But at what point do you start to believe that a comeback like this is possible? It takes anything.
भाई माइक ही बंद कर रखा है, बोला जा रहा हूँ मैं. वाओ यार, वाओ.
There's always danger lurking every corner.
One mistake from Heretics. Exactly.
भाई मैं अपनी commentary चालू रख रहा हूँ और माइक बंद है. Shit.
They almost never happen.
Guys, जो भी नया जुड़ा है वीडियो के साथ, वीडियो को लाइक कर दो जल्दी से और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो और अपना वोट डालो कि आज फाइनल्स कौन जीत रहा है. जल्दी जल्दी कर दो. और EDG ये मैच जीत ही चुकी है, बट टीम हेरिटिक्स जो है अपना कॉन्फिडेंस के लिए राउंड जीत रही है. जितने राउंड जीतेगी उतना कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्ड होगा नेक्स्ट मैप के लिए.
Stopping short of the mark, I'm still aware of the fact that there could be that play. And it's made here, the paranoia sweeping its way through, just can't quite wrangle.
फाइनली मुझे लग रहा है कि जीजी टाइम आ चुका है गाइस, और जीजी टाइम आ चुका है. कैंग
Playtime's over. They're done
fucking
messing around.
insane.
EDG want to go on to the next. As an ult for Boo will be able to pick up the spike, but it's a hard read by Simon. Look at this guy, ready to just deny.
GG guys.
13-4. The MasterCard thrifty to finish.
Gang.
Lotus on the cards with an even up scoreline between both of our teams.
GG guys, GG.
Zelts is set on the desk.
Equal हो चुका है ये लाइनअप 1-1. हम जा रहे हैं नेक्स्ट मैप लोटस में. तो जल्दी से वीडियो को लाइक करो, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो, प्यार दिखाओ यार गाइस, जल्दी से करो. लेट्स गो. टीम हेरिटेज का कॉन्फिडेंस जरूर लो हुआ होगा, बट कुछ राउंड्स ऐसे जीते हैं जिससे कॉन्फिडेंस थोड़ा बढ़ जाना चाहिए उन लोगों का. नहीं तो वो तो ये मैच 0 से हारना चाह रहे थे, 0 से हार रहे थे. 10-0 था, 11-0 था. वहां से 4 राउंड जीतना थोड़ा जरूर अपने आप को पुश करेंगे और अपने कॉन्फिडेंस को बिल्ड करेंगे. कहीं मत जाओ गाइस, मैप नंबर 3 स्टार्ट होने ही वाला है. जुड़ जाओ जल्दी से, वीडियो को लाइक करो, सब्सक्राइब करो चैनल. Let's go.
Red Bull gives you wings.
सिर्फ 3 मिनट में हम जाएंगे नेक्स्ट मैप में लोटस में. तो बने रहो यार वीडियो के साथ, मैं भी आ रहा हूँ सिर्फ 2 मिनट में. लेट्स गो. आज ग्रैंड फाइनल्स है और मैं सब चीज टाइम पे कर रहा हूँ, टाइम से पहले आ चुका हूँ ग्रैंड फाइनल्स। लेट्स गो। मैप नंबर 3 में हम आ चुके हैं अब, और हाईली चांस मुझे ये लग रहा है कि EDG लोटस भी जीतेगी।
Hello guys, Jen Lee here with Anna and Leo. Now, thanks for joining me, guys. 높으신 분들이니까 열심히 모시세요. Now Anna. 먼저 챔피언스 서울 이번 대회 그리고 한국 팬들과의 만남이 있었는데요. 좀 어떤 경험이었는지부터 여쭤보도록 하겠습니다. How has Champions Seoul been like for you, and what do you think of the Korean fans and the Korean Valorant community?
Honestly, it's been a really, really emotional week. Like, we've been here all week getting to know players, going to PC bongs, going to so many different things. And this community has got to be like, it's got to be like the best community so far. Like, the hype is so real, and we are just so happy to be here right now.
너무 벅찬 경험이었다고 얘기를 합니다. 오늘 선수들도 와서 많이 만나고 PC방에 가서 유저들도 만나고 팬분들도 만나봤는데 진짜 여러분들이 너무 많은 성원과 응원을 보내주셨기 때문에 벅차고 감사하고 정말 한국 팬들이 최고의 팬이다 라고 얘기를 해주셨습니다. 그리고 이번 챔피언스 서울이 또 역대 VCT 최고 시청률을 기록했는데요. 여기에 대해서는 어떻게 생각하시는지도 물어보도록 하겠습니다. Champions Seoul has already broken the VCT viewership records. So what are your thoughts on this big achievement?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. I mean, that's pretty incredible, right? I mean, I think like those numbers are really, really humbling to us, honestly. Like, we work really, really hard to bring a great game and a great sport to our players. And so when our players show up and when they give us that validation, it is so incredible. And honestly, like, we've been growing the audience. Like, we have grown in China. We've come out on console. We hope our console players are enjoying their first champions. So yeah, it's just been incredible.
아무래도 워낙 모든 사람들이 여러분들께 그리고 선수들에게 최고의 환경을 제공하기 위해서 열심히 노력을 하는 만큼 이렇게 큰 수치가 찍힌다는 거, 그리고 이렇게 여러분들에게 사랑을 많이 받는다는 것 자체가 너무너무 감사한 일이고, 그리고 또 확신을 준다고 얘기를 하는데요. 그리고 이어서 중국 번역도 론치를 했었고, 그리고 올해 또 콘솔이 나왔던 만큼 더 많은 분들이 함께할 수 있기를 바란다고 얘기를 했습니다. 그러면 리오님에게 2025년 좀 리그 포맷에 변화가 있다고 발표가 났는데요. 팬들과 선수들에게는 또 어떤 영향을 미칠지 여기에 대해서 여쭤보도록 할게요. So you guys just announced that there will be big changes in 2025 when it comes to the league formats and also the scheduling.
At least मुझे बताएगा।
How will those changes most benefit the teams and
एक तरफ तू उदास दिख रहा है और एक तरफ लग रहा है कि भाई
I'll tell you, we're very excited.
चाहता है EDG
It's
जीते।
a very special year for Valorant. It's our 5th anniversary. Not every game
इसका फैन है भाई।
We're very humbled, very grateful. As far as the sport goes, we're finally expanding the calendar. We're going to have more Valorant with champs now in October. We're also expanding the number of teams in our leagues. We're expanding playoffs. We have a new format. We're better aligning the game and the sport. And we're bringing our events to 3 brand new locations around the world. It's going to be the best year of Valorant and the VCT yet, and we cannot wait.
Oh yeah, baby. 먼저 2025년이 발로란트 5주년이거든요. 근데 사실 많은 게임들이 5주년을 맞이하는 그런 기회를 접하기 쉽지 않은데 상당한 영광이고, 그리고 여러분들께 감사한다고 얘기를 하면서 내년에 가면 리그도 더 길어지고 챔피언스는 10월에 들어가고 그리고 플레이오프도 확장되고 많은 팀들이 더 VCT 서킷에 들어오게 될 거고 정말 많은 변화가 있겠지만 선수들도 그리고 팬분들도 즐길 만한 것들이 더 풍성한 한 해가 될 것 같기 때문에 2025년 많이 기대해 주시길 바란다고 얘기를 했습니다. Thank you, Leo and Anna, for joining me. 감사합니다. Hope you guys enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We have some champions in the house. It's Jorgamo and Potter. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
It's so good to have you two here. We got Kakuka with me as well. But that map, let's quickly break it down. What a stark contrast from the first one. What happened?
Yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, I can kind of, but that first map already, things were wonky for EDG. You know, the fact that right after that Omen ult, landing towards A site, kind of meandering around and unable to plant, running at a time a lot, and the stage nerves, you could just absolutely see it. So it's good for EDG that they were able to get a reset backstage and looking like a completely different team on map 2.
Yeah, and Jog, look at the vibes. Look how hyped Kong was as well right after that. You gotta give it right when you're on that stage.
When you're on the stage, you're giving the hype, you're letting the crowd know, and you want to put the crowd on your back. You say, let's hype up the crowd, let's get hype.
So I think it's amazing that Kong's getting the crowd on his side, and I mean he is a crowd pleaser, so I can't be mad at him for that.
Does he have that dog in him?
He got that dog in him for sure. 100% he got that dog in him for sure.
Yeah, and now looking at Lotus, things are moving pretty fast as the Asian Select has already been decided for the third map. We know that this is a map that both of the teams have a lot of experience. Team Heretics decided to change the composition, go for the double controller, a lot of what other teams in EMEA are doing. But the way that EDG present this map, how they run the Clove, some might think is a little bit wacky, but the presence that they're able and the pressure that they're able to put across the map definitely pays off.
You guys like the Clove?
Of course, why not? Clove is a beast right now.
I love the Clove. I love the Clove, and you know, just a double initiator comp on the one side and Viper on the other. I'm loving this. You know, in Americas, especially for our team, there was a lot of discussions, a lot of debate back and forth about what's going to be the flavor of this map, what's the best comp. And for us, it was the double initiator. It was without the Viper, but I think it makes sense that the Raze is coming out because the Viper, the HP gets dwindled down. So just in tandem, these utilities work together well.
And now, Christina, you're no stranger to the desk, so you know that Bren and Sideshow are waiting for us on the other side. Would you like to do the honor and toss to them?
Bren, Sideshow, take it away.
A true professional in every sense.
Let's go guys, finally map number 3. 1-1 से ये tournament चल रहा है, final चल रहा है, 1-1 से ये चल रहा है. ये EDG decide करेगी कि second map कहाँ जा रहा है, क्योंकि उनके पास advantage है, उनके पास जाके momentum भी रुका हुआ है. थोड़ा सा नर्वस दिखने लग गई है, बट अभी फेस पे नहीं आ रहा है, बट थोड़ा नर्वस हो चुकी है टीम हेरिटेक्स. But वो 4 राउंड,
They make it work amazingly. They're great at playing around.
4 राउंड जो क्रूशियल होंगे अभी.
And their pistol round strategies.
पिस्टल एंड बोनस दोनों ही हाफ के. ये मैप डिसाइड करेगा ये मैप किसकी तरफ जा रहा है.
No different. This is going to be a big push out of C&B, and that puts all of the pressure on people like Benji or Woot to try to.
गाइस जो भी नया जुड़ा है वीडियो के साथ, यार वीडियो को लाइक करो, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो, जल्दी से लाल बटन को दबाओ, जल्दी से कर दो यार. मैप नंबर 3 में पहुंच चुके हैं.
That's a good connection. Kang. Blood in the water, you can sense it, smell it, trying to go for the pincer,
Kang का एक बार फिर से वो पुश, वो डोमिनेशन. अभी 2 बंदे लूज कर चुकी है EDG. मैन एडवांटेज जरूर है, पर अभी मैन एडवांटेज जा चुकी है. दोनों इक्वल हैं.
He's stuck with the spike. It's fully squeezed. Out of spot, out of position,
Mini
still
Boo आ
satchels
चुका है
through,
साइड
and his
पे
team's going to make the
और लो
decision
है बहुत
for him.
ज़्यादा.
Taking that space onto the site. Now everybody trying to go for the retreat.
Oh.
Damage done, tapping away, pistols in hand.
Kang.
Not enough to claim these kills. Let's soften them up potentially for that
Mini
rainy
Boo
day.
एक HP है, literally एक HP है, और हो जाएगा ये.
Loose, and he will not let them have even a single chance. Heretics
1v2,
somehow finding head to find the way
1v2.
through this. Tap through the wall, nobody is left in a difficult spot, a 1v2, but all that damage done, as we said prior.
Oh, nobody! One more time.
That's just a disgusting pistol from EDG.
मैंने बोला था EDG के पास है एडवांटेज, EDG के पास है मोमेंटम. EDG करी हुई है ग्रैब.
You know that they pushed out B and C, you know that A is open. I'm not really sure why they tried to do that small feint into the B site. Maybe over-anticipate that EDG were going to read the A pivot. EDG were ahead of them at every part there, up until the very end where nobody was in a tough position but pulled out the Red Bull clutch.
All of these maps can be defined by the pistol rounds. No loss here, but EDG continuing that momentum. Smoggy. Still holding down, locking down towards C-Mount. Someone's got a fault line just in case. The door opens wide, but the paranoia, they already know that there's a chance of losing B main control, but no. Once more, Heretics have worked back. Pushed into predictable avenues.
Pings out from Heretics over towards C, which is where Smoggy and Simon are holding. But it doesn't really look like there's going to be enough utility to shove them off the line. Even if Boo decides to commit horns or a prowler to this, I think they're just going to break it. Be surprised if EDG gave up map control. Yeah, it's just responded with a fault line, and you keep this stack over towards A. 2 players crossfire setup.
Might just get put into the blender.
Oh,
Okay,
ho gaya.
tries to play off the flash. On a couple of these eco kills, he's handed over the rifle to them. Not just that, damage, stray shots, straight through the smoke, and Woot with a possibility to get this plant online. Putting the pressure down onto Rians. He still returns with a frag.
Main advantage.
Traded though. And Heretics have set themselves up into this post plant. Benji's on with the rifle.
Did Smoggy see Miniboo here? I don't think he did.
Fault line ready. The strike is nice. Smoggy's trying to run these players down still. It's defended from above. Benji Fishy, man of the hour. Time sign a tick here. On through the spike and that rifle handed over. A costly mistake. Chichu has to pick up the pieces and forge a path to victory. No more bullets left to do it. And Miniboo knows.
Finally. Team Heretics के लिए कुछ तो आया. Bonus round जीत लिया है.
Finally, we're seeing both teams really early on.
EDG ने अपना bonus गवा दिया है यहाँ पे.
Not allowing it to go early one way or the other. I feel for Kang in that spot though, because he really believed that Paranoia was good. He trusted in his teammate, and he ended up being betrayed by it. Woot, playing anti-flash, managed to swing back in and help deliver that first step to the Masquerade Thrifty. Heretics will be loving that one. Not only does it hurt the EDG economy, but it actually allows them an opportunity to start getting these attacking ults going, which otherwise would have been a big disadvantage. It's one of the biggest reasons that Team Heretics, or at least biggest tools that they have to rely on their attack side, compared to EDG's less standard approach. The ultimates that Heretics have access to, slightly better. And they found the gap here, if indeed they use
EDG का eco round.
EDG is super happy to gamble. When they're on ecos, they'll often run 4 players A. They'll sometimes push on defense, like we saw in the pistol.
They have a lot of ideas on. Pretty par for the course though, just trying to stack a site when you're on the eco. It's nothing really innovative. Okay, Kang. Takes a gander and a peek.
This spike is in serious danger of being lost. Benji's taking a risk even going to retrieve it right now.
He's having to slow down the footsteps. He doesn't know if the space has been taken. Now scurrying away. Slight mistiming there could have spelled defeat and doom for him, but okay. Stand the turret.
Okay, C पे चले गए ये
It's been
लोग.
taken up, but players are in position. EDG have got them surrounded on almost every front.
But their weapons aren't good enough to spam, so this plant should go down fairly easily. They throw the Paranoia in as well, just to make sure nobody can play Waterfall.
Waterfall peak करी इन लोगों ने. Waterfall एक बंदा था.
Sound and distraction. Shots are here. Heads barely.
Oh my God, Kang.
No matters not. Give him a pixel, give him anything. Kang will make it work. Guns have been handed. Crossed over.
2v1, Benji.
1v2. Has a lot to deal with. Prowler running him down. Nobody's right there alongside it. It's back to back.
ये लोग eco round जीत गए यार. Eco round जीत गए.
The Thrifties, they just keep coming. Nobody with Bulldog in hand did so much there. The turret evaded as well. What was going on there?
Team Heretics ने जितना confidence build करा होगा वो सब नीचे चला गया होगा. क्योंकि buying round था उनका और यहाँ उनको lose करना पड़ गया ये round.
They crept through, no problem.
Either that or they found a blind spot.
Celsius कितना push हो रहा है
underneath it as if he was trying to play the blind spot. It was odd. To be honest, I think Benji pointed it in some sense kind of the wrong direction too.
It's a scrappy and explosive beginning here on Lotus. Hopefully seeing signs that it is a bit more back and forth. Rather than the blowouts that we've seen on the first 2 maps. Missing the turret. That's still here. Smoggy going to refresh that one.
थोड़ी risky position थी Smoggy के लिए. Big decision.
EDG have posted Shishu up over towards Rubble. So even with Team Heretics taking this portion of the map, EDG still have very good information around. Benji's got his ult online though. That one's pretty huge. When you're playing it against a team that's running a Raze on the other side, usually the Raze on defense will try to rotate C, deny the lockdown. But with this comp, they don't really have anything to stop the lockdown from coming through.
Yeah, it's not an option.
I'd expect to see Benji try to make use of it in the round, but he's playing really passively over towards B right now.
Kang, wall in his face. That's Chichu taking the timing straight through the smoke. The kill lighting up the feed. That's all the acknowledgement they need.
I think you got to give up an A here. Just group B or C and use the lockdown.
They've got no way to really remove it.
30 seconds left.
That option might be just being forced into their hands. Simon, slight jiggle again, grabs the information. Damage is being done. Stray shots are fired in through B. This feels a little bit hectic on the side of Heretics. Boom! He goes down to the aftershock, none the wiser.
Insane.
From behind. God, he's not slowing down. 7 seconds.
Benji
forced to give it up.
The final player scuttles away. Still with that lockdown in the back of his pocket.
Benji ने फैसला ले लिया कि भाई जज गार्डियन को सेव
they've
करा
also broken
जाएगा.
the economy of Heretics. I know that we've seen the Thrifties do work, but you can't rely on them forever. What is going on here though as well? Boo just missing the sound cues because of the nightfall.
Not even sound cues, you can see it on your
इन लोगों से इनका momentum जा चुका है.
That's the only explanation
Team
I can
Heretics
think
से
of.
उनका momentum छीन लिया गया भाई. Momentum
Chaos
है ही नहीं यार.
time's running low. Decision making just going to miss. Like I said, you can't rely on the
Difficult
Thrifties.
हो रहा है बहुत Team Heretics के
still
लिए.
down. Benji Fishy have to be the point man.
पूरा aggro के साथ जा रही है.
Disrespecting, at least pushing back over towards C. Speaking of disrespect, EDG have a lot of bodies behind this.
Yeah, this is one of the kind of substandard, but they still run it. Defensive looks where 4 players stack over towards A really early on. Get somebody posted there. You've got options. It could be Kangkang and nobody, and you can run forwards with the Prowler, or you can just post Shishu up over towards Rubble. And it's tough, because if Heretics try to gamble that EDG have got 4A at the start of the round and fast it towards B or C, it might not be this defensive
Team Heretics के जो supporters हैं और जो वो बहुत ज़्यादा लोग aggression दिखा रहे थे field पे, उनको देखना चाहता हूँ कि वो अभी किस side से बैठे हैं, उनका चेहरा कैसा है.
They're going into a season
कैमरा आ जाए उसके ऊपर
there is a chance that Heretics get melted.
He could eviscerate them. Gets the connection and the reveal. But it goes on either side here. Fully revealed up. Miniboo cleaning up onto the corner. Cuts it up from Chichu. Trying to get his team right back into this one here. He does have the angle, but he hears that TP, and he's anticipating it in a different direction. And ult, locked down. It's dropped down. This is trying Heretics now to pave their way through. It's not going to really break that one. I mean, Simon is going to place the aftershock to see if he can delay and deny the plan from going down, but tucked into the corner, Rians will get an extension of time into the round now. EDG up onto the flank with the flash. And through waterfall. Overdrive into the hands of Kang. Rians just can't hold a candle to that. Movement too good. Chichu defusing, but sprayed down. Beam down. Wood holding it down. Nobody can cross the line in the barrier, and Simon. His desperation just tucked to the side. Joshi said you can't rely on the Thrifties, but listen. MasterCard are getting their money's worth.
This is ridiculous. Our third that we've seen so far on Lotus. And we finally got the lockdown invested as well, and you can see now, I think, why Benji didn't want to use it so much in those prior rounds. They don't want to use it as a tool to get in onto sites. They want to use it as a tool to ensure they can get plants on sites. And there is a subtle difference there. Normally, when you use it as a tool to initiate, you have to exec as it's about 4 seconds left on the clock. That's not enough time to plant. The defenders are already going to be in, trying to deny. As EDG are trying to deny Rubble currently.
Big reveal, big coverage, Miniboo. Straight up and over, Benji Fishy looking to contain. Plugging up the holes, but he is alone, isolated. Smoggy. Bite of the apple, tap with a rifle. Resets it. To draw this core, but plays being made all across the board. Chichu!
What the fuck?
Do it to him, not like that. Embarrasses Heretics in through tree.
What the fuck, guys?
He is the immovable object of EDG.
Yes, let's go, Chichu. Let's go.
And that's an ace if I've ever seen one.
He's been superb at this tournament. He really has. His win rates in these opening fights, immaculate. But guess who's there supporting him on that entry too? Simon from the back. The fault line comes through.
गलत भाई.
Onto Woot.
बहुत गलत.
Frees him up to go for the rest of the kills. Kangkang, he can't even believe it behind him.
Disbelief.
He's
Look
like,
at
mate,
this guy.
where are the rest of my kills? You're going to ruin my stats here, Chishu.
taken
Chishu,
over.
12-4. He started off on Sunset 10-0. Now, he did slow down after that, but his opening to the map drove a spear firmly into Team Heretics. It's amazing how much Chishu's doing actually for them overall in this tournament. He's winning about 70% of his opening fights. That is ludicrous.
That's insane, man. He
That's
really is.
Absolutely bonkers numbers, and you're also seeing the value that he has across the board.
Yeah.
On Haven, he couldn't quite get working today, but on previous times, he's been so good with the lurks. Intelligent player, and fairly calm under pressure too. He's one of those players alongside Kangkang you can expect to perform.
Brimman Jack साथ में बैठे योरू को देखो यार ओमन तो भाई बहुत
I
सही
haven't pulled the numbers. I haven't gone for the deep dive. I'm just going off the eye test. But I know when I see a player who's performing like this is the tournament of his life. And listen, the form has not slipped. You've seen it on the first map, maybe initially, but
इन लोगों ने ये last buy किया
fire,
अपने लिए इसके
forced
बाद
the time
इनको
out of
करना ही
Heretics,
पड़ेगा
forcing
Close
them
buy है
to adjust and adapt. Again towards a rubble. All's going to be going down here. Heretics are giving up that space. It's conceded by EDG.
And I like that EDG don't fight over it. One of the big advantages that Team Heretics comp has is that it should be able to win rubble fights. Kangkang's always going to be a bit of a wild card in those rubble fights because the Neon can get into really unexpected situations, but generally speaking, Heretics should be able to own that part of the map. EDG, though, seem to have anticipated that this is heading B. Nobody's looking to get info, and Prowlers trade.
Spot, yeah. He's hyper committed here. It's a showstopper in the back pocket, a mini boot. It's punishable.
Heretics don't like the look of this. Potentially coming back to Riens. It looks a little indecisive here. Riens is looking for that info that would just inform Boo what the correct decision is. Boo's had his team go towards B, towards C, and now coming back to A without really putting pressure anywhere. They're not pulling defensive rotates.
They're not at all. The jiggle to try and get that info. Riens is calling, wait guys, they've potentially given this all the way up.
They need to rely on ults.
What is that? Wide face, 5 players to receive and face him. Simon steps up, takes the challenge and takes the fight. But now the squeeze, Paranoia is perfect. And an ult to supplement. It's a cherry on top, nobody. Denied. Can't step past the blue room.
Smoggy 1v4.
Smoggy's just wondering where it all went wrong.
He's the player that's been lone defending C these past couple rounds. Usually this is his map. He's averaging a kill per round when he plays Clove on Lotus. Whew. But this would be something different.
Yeah, he'd have to pump up those numbers heavily. Jumping through, it's mini boot. Shuts him down, bullet to the brain.
Nice, nice, nice.
I think you're dead on the money there. Where did it all go wrong? Because the EDG had the setup. They knew that Team Heretics were looking to end over towards A, or at least they had a read on it. Chishu ults over towards Mound, confirms all of the macro is in favor of EDG.
Team Heretics wale.
And yet the peaks, Chishu just, after he'd already confirmed it wasn't C, maybe looking for a bit of info that he perhaps didn't need. He was punished for it.
Heretics back into it. A round down for now. For now being the key words. Kang! He's handed, offered an opportunity, and snappy reaction times are on display. Damage and bullets exchange. Wu from behind delivers that dagger, at least stolen from him. It's Riens who lights up the feed.
So much damage been done. The players from Heretics are leaving bruised and battered. They haven't forced out the Rolling Thunder either. If they could have put enough pressure on Simon, maybe he would have cracked, but such composure to keep that ult. And if Smoggy gets one, suddenly they're not dead yet online.
Yeah, it will be a nuisance.
And this is the kind of spot where you can try to play cheeky angles like this.
One and done. The ult online has a TP into the back. Ooh, hard commits that. Now you're putting the squeeze onto Smoggy. He
Love this.
is in the danger. There's no retreat here. There's no retreat at all. And once more, Heretics show that discipline on display. Kang! Accounted for. It's only one before he's dropped. An open sight here for Heretics.
2v3.
I love that snake bite. Trying to deny any space over towards Waterfall. So Riens gets a safe plant off. A decision-making time for Simon. With a pit in a 2v3, you probably do not want to be using Rolling Thunder. But if they can get a spam kill, which EDG are normally so good at, maybe it becomes worthwhile.
Chances. Need a kill, though, to make it happen. To get the ball rolling.
They have Haunt.
Haunt, any sort of reveal is not quite.
Right there.
It's util expended. No luck at a draw from the bullets flying forwards. Heretics have wrapped this one up.
Finally, we've got a map where both teams have turned up to it.
Yeah, a bit of parity.
I definitely agree with Potter when she was talking about the nerves being present on Haven for EDG. I think EDG just came out with a phenomenal read on Sunset that made Heretics just look like they weren't even home. Now we're getting to that even territory.
He's just going like this, and we have to expect those plays, okay?
I think Miniboo's probably talking there about the way that Kangkang slid into them. They have to be ready for that kind of stuff because he's right. Kangkang will go for those plays. He's the kind of player that will sacrifice his own life sometimes to try to make the winning spot for his team.
Have to remain vigilant. Enough util.
Oh my gosh, Smokey.
Straight back onto the line. And Miniboo is taken out. He's got to watch now. The rest of his team to see if they can piece together this round when they're a player down.
Bring them down.
Even more so onto these angles. The contact play is called and around Paranoia. Not even a connection. Smokey is working this map like it's his playground right now, especially onto the side, but he needs some backup and he needs to bail out. Heretics finding it, dashing away, cancel the movement. Kangkang dropped down with a decay damage, can't stand against it. Smokey also being pushed back, postured away, and a nano swarm. Benji, they knew he was there. The right util at the right time to punish. Smoggy trying to cleave the way through. One kill found, and he's still got a not dead yet!
Oh my God.
But he might not even need it. On for the ace. Damage Thunderboo. Round and round we go onto the side. Taking it away. He's got the speed buff intact. There's no plant online.
Kiske paas hogi timing?
On the shoulders of Boo.
How long does Boo hold for? Smoggy's
Ball
reading
back.
into this thinking that he's gone for the rotate.
Oh my. It's a possibility. There was enough time for it. Boo could have walked all the way and just ran when he was out of range, but now back over towards C.
Boo can die to spam here as he plants. But I'm not even sure that Smoggy has enough bullets in his gun.
He hasn't gone for the reload. He was scared of a player being close, and now creeping, crawling up close. 1v1 still down to the timings. Smoggy can't do it with pistol in hand. It's
भाई ये पिस्टल लेके क्यों जा रहा था?
who stands
मैं
tall.
पिस्टल से क्यों कर रहा था भाई? वेंडल थी वहाँ पे.
That veteran presence to make sure that the round
Don't
did
know.
not go amiss.
Nets तो खत्म हो गई थी इसके पास.
What a clutch from Boo. Desperately needed for Heretics, I think. I'm not a fan of how Smoggy played around these situations, though, with his ult. I think you look at that round from Smoggy without an ult online, he played it immaculately. He conserved his life, backed off, played off his team's paranoias. I actually think, though, that when he has the
bullets,
yeah,
25 bullets,
he can afford to be way more aggressive in those spots and use the ult to play his team in. I'd like to see him try to take that impact earlier on.
I love you.
I hard agree with that. He's pulled this time out initially from EDG.
वहाँ वेंडल का यूज क्यों नहीं किया गया यार? वहाँ
And they've
वेंडल
been
का यूज क्यों नहीं
abusing
किया
the side
गया?
tankers, essentially, right? They've been trying to find spots where there isn't a seize or a stun to stop them, and Heretics can burst through. And they'll call some cancels. There'll be a couple of waves in the exec. It's not anything super simple. But EDG need to get a read on where these are coming. Odin being bought here for Boo as well. Looking to try to do early spam over towards A, perhaps.
Yeah, the players are drifting over. EDG, still some bite left into the round with the weapons that they scramble together here. Rifles in the hands of 4 of them.
There.
Ult's online too, so could be willing to scrap here.
That's
Right
big
on target.
damage.
Yeah, nobody. Chunked down. Sets up for the TP. Nobody is committed here. The door's not even okay. Breaks it, backs away. Evacuation is called for.
Missed the haunt as well. It was broken, of course, but he was aiming for on top of rubble there, so they would have scanned the back towards where Woot was. They've lost info over towards A. That Odin purchase ended up coming through very clutch for that opening fight.
Those are the extra elements we've come to expect, I think, from a team like Heretics. A little spice to throw into a round, making sure that it is that much more winnable here. Going for the potential B pivot. The door was already opened wide here. Benji, footsteps rumbling towards them. And now there's Simon. Time to strike. Time to see if he can collect to corral these kills. Up and around. Chichu backing around. Obtains the upgrade. The 3 versus 3 is where we stand.
AV3 कब से हो गया भाई?
EDG thought it was actually a B pivot going on there. You could see it in the way that Shishu threw his paranoia.
Yeah.
And yet they still held tall. Now nobody has to do it all.
Sees the shoulder. Tried to play patiently. And Smoggy drifting into the fight, into the fray. Not watched for, anticipating that re-swing. Ops into the ult now, not dead yet. Spam follows through. He needs the kill, he needs the assist, but Heretics are the ones under that pressure! And Chichu collects.
I wasn't expecting the round to end like that. I was looking over towards Smoggy.
There's no way.
He had limited time to be able to get value out of his ultimate, and it looked like he was playing passively, but they ran away from the Clove, trying to deny them value, and straight into the waiting arms of Chishu. That's tragic for Heretics.
To collect. Beautiful transfer as well. We missed that one, but still got to admire it. He's sitting at 15 and 7.
And again, the team with the weaker economy, though it wasn't a full thrifty, comes out with the goods. 5-5.
In a strange map.
Benji has it online again. His ult.
Once more, Odin spam. TP across, TP up top. Wood is going to be traded. Just the one for his efforts.
ये ready है कैन के लिए सारे बंदे ready हैं और फिर भी ये लोग नहीं संभाल पा रहे ना और बंदों को
See if he can cleave away in a path right through, but they realize that A is futile. Time to make the great retreat.
Yeah, I think they actually saw both pieces of utility coming from Smoggy and Simon. So they've got a pretty good read here that C is empty. And they're going to confirm it with lockdown.
Chichu's ult, he can go for the instant reposition as well. Shore this one up. Know that the site's cleared out. Heretics.
Good plant position too.
Yeah. Trying to think ahead here. Into the round, a bit of spam from Boo.
I like this.
Forces Util. Forces EDG to be diligent with the clearing.
They actually, yeah, they didn't even use utility though. They saved the util and just barreled forward with 2 or 3 players looking to try to trade out. So now they have that utility to clear the side, but Boo!
Oh, listen, if you're going to try and opt in, exactly, brute force. It's the domain where Heretics will seek to punish, yet still smokes, propped up, and heads being pried straight off the bodies. Left down to Benji. Planted for him, up onto Mound. Nana swarms up and over, just about catching, but Simon's got the half, and that's a potential wink on drop down. Time is of the essence, ticking away from them. TP up and around.
He may not think he's
claimed. No way, Simon! No way!
Oh my God!
Dropped
what a round, Benji! What a round!
And it's all Benji!
What a round!
I thought there was such a chance there that EDG were going to sneak that one away. When Chishu teleports up and Benji catches it, it's so likely that Benji waits for another tap. Heretics take the lead, 6-5 off the back of Benji winning the Red Bull clutch. Another huge clutch going the way of Team Heretics. If they hadn't had those two, EDG might have been running away with this half, but as it is, Chinese squad knocked down to lower economy. And trying to control rubble. They've kind of missed out on the control of this part of the map the whole game. Their comms doesn't really favor it, but now they're driving Heretics into B.
Fast plays all around the map. Trying to go for that reaction. Overdrive, it's here! Kang collects, it's augmented! And the bush is stunted! In the blink of an eye!
हाफ कंप्लीट हो चुका है और क्या हाफ रहा है दोनों टीमों के लिए इक्वल रहा है और क्या हाफ रहा है मैप नंबर 3
This map truly
कहीं मत जाओ यार सेकंड हाफ जुड़ जाओ जल्दी से वीडियो को लाइक करो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो और जुड़ जाओ जल्दी से वीडियो के
taking
साथ
chunks out of each other, going back blow for blow. EDG's attack
Okay,
side
map
is
number
super
3
potent
का
as well.
second half
Team Heretics may
start
not
हो
have
रहा
done
है.
enough
कहीं
with
मत
only
जाओ.
6.
बहुत ज़्यादा difficult होने वाला है ये VCT का
Gonna
grand
get it
finals.
answered on the other side of this as well.
हमें
But for
लगता है
now,
हम decider तक जरूर
sending it
जाएंगे.
down to the floor momentarily as well.
जरूर
Just to
जाएंगे
get
decider
a bit of
तक.
insight from
बने
the
रहो यार
champion
वीडियो के साथ.
himself.
Hey guys, here with Com, of course.
यार कल बहुत रो रहा था यार ये. कल ये बहुत upset था अपने आप
선수
से.
어제 경기 끝나고 나서 눈물을 흘릴 때 좀 리엔즈 선수가 위로해주는 모습을 보면서 콤 선수와 또 콤 선수 아버지가 아 이제 넘버원 리엔즈 팬이다 평생이라고 얘기를 했거든요. 그렇기 때문에 이렇게 또 힘든 순간에 적으로 만났지만 또 위로의 손을 내밀어줄 수 있는 선수가 그리고 이런 커뮤니티가 있다는 것에 대해서 어떻게 느끼고 있는지부터 여쭤보고 싶습니다. Com, yesterday you and Papa Com expressed the gratitude towards Rians, you know, being able to showcase sportsmanship, especially when you are at a vulnerable moments like yesterday. So what's it like to have an opponent that's willing to kind of comfort you through your hard times?
I think it shows a lot of vulnerability and emotional intelligence, as my dad said. It means a lot to me for sure, because I feel like I'm a very emotional person. And yeah, I mean, it means the world to me that someone, even if they were enemy for me like 10 minutes ago, they become my friend right after.
확실히 얼마나 이 발로란트 커뮤니티 자체가 EQ가 높고 서로에게 공감할 수 있는지를 잘 보여주는 부분이라고 얘기를 했고요. 그리고 또 콤 선수 같은 경우에도 뭐 눈물이 많은 이런 좀 감수성이 깊은 확실한 F이기 때문에 좀 그런 선수가 이렇게 위로를 해준다는 것 자체가 의미가 굉장히 많았고 또 굉장히 감사하다고 얘기를 했습니다. 그러면 오늘 아무래도 리엔즈 선수를 응원하러 왔나 싶은데 또 보내고 싶은 메시지가 있는지도 물어보도록 할게요. So I'm guessing you're here to root for Rians and Team Heretics. Anything you would like to say to him?
Keep fighting. No matter what happens in this grand finals, have fun and enjoy the moment, no matter what.
어떤 일이 벌어지든 지금 이 순간을 즐기기를 바란다고 얘기했습니다. 이렇게 해서 콤 선수 만나봤습니다. Thank you, Com. And 야, 하나 더.
사랑해, Korea.
Thank you, Com.
Just beaten him, still had thought for his opponent. It shows you, I mean, there's no space for mercy, but there's still room for compassion with the way that they play.
Oh, of course.
I do really appreciate that. All of their thoughts here are going to be on getting that victory, but every time you win, you see the other side of that coin. There's going to be both sides of it here today in the grand finals. No matter who ends up winning, there is going to be one bitterly disappointed loser up on stage, and that's going to be tough for either team to deal with.
Change of the weaponry here, EDG looking to again increase that tempo, but stopped in their tracks as the Nano Swarms laid down prior.
They've inserted Smoggy pretty deep on B right now. And what I love about watching Smoggy on these rounds is that he has Frenzy and Pick Me Up, which I think is just such a deadly duo.
Yeah, speed buff if he gets that online.
And the overheal too, or the over armor. It's just, it's so tough to deal with.
The menace on the pistols.
He's often in spots where he trades people out. So seeing him isolated here is a little unusual. You see nobody going trying to do his IGL duties, creating pressure on the other side of the map, indicating that this is going to be a C repop. Hard for Heretics to read into that though. What is this?
Kakang, he's trying to find it. Needs to be disciplined. And just evacuate and get out, but Wood is still there into the back of the side! Unaccounted for! Will make them rue the day that they decided to ignore that position. Two dropped. There's the third. It's all on Woot, and this guy is undeniable.
Time waste.
The form factor, an ace denied, but Smoggy's got much more to do on the backside of that. And
nice round for Team Heretics. Nice round for Team Heretics.
Shades of Woot at Shanghai there.
बहुत difficult होने वाला है
the
यहाँ.
Chinese squads and made the grand finals. It's been a quiet tournament from him. It's been very different. Seen him in that supportive role, looking to try to trade and help other people, help the team. Good to see him have his moment here in the pistol though, and what an important pistol that might end up being. Gives Team Heretics the lead, assuming no more of those thrifties, those pesky thrifties that we've seen today.
An abundance of them. Pause called after the initial pistol round. Doesn't feel like it's, a timeout to me.
You think attack timeout after the pistol? I think it would be the first one I've ever seen.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. The one downside of Woot getting all of those kills on the pistol is that no one else is anywhere near an ultimate. And usually the attacking teams on Lotus are going to want to be putting those into Mini Boo, Benji, something like that. So we've got another tech pause here.
Yep. My suspicion was correct. I love that we put the entire
Technical pause aa chuka hai.
It's tech pause, you know, the light and shift. And
nobody move.
Exactly. Trying to take a gander over at the stage as well, see who might be the player we're watching for, who's having some issues. And hopefully we'll be able to get this solved as well. No more stops in the momentum. It's going to be a quick one, I've just heard. So we will be back into the action soon enough.
You want time for a fun stat?
Sure.
You know that Team Heretics and Paper X are the only teams to play in a grand finals but not lift a trophy.
That's brutal for Paper X.
Everybody else that's been in a VCT Global Grand Finals has found one, you know, before, after, in a different moment.
And so if Heretics win here today, they'll pass the torch to EDG.
Yep, they'll pass that over and force EDG to be the recipient of that sad stat.
That's brutal. That's a hard one. A lot of damage. Players getting chunked down on EDG's side of things here. And a stun not enough to dissuade and push back Boo. A few more. Smokes dissipating. Rian's creeping up onto the angles, trying to cut them up where they stand. Paranoia sweeps through, but no connection. And the TB has to be used to back himself away. Still a 4 versus 4. Simon! Oh, he was hoping for that kill. Dropped down there. The spikes in a lapse of Woot. And Heretics have a handle on it.
Nobody left as the final player. The spike could not be further away. He would have to make such a difficult journey.
Yeah.
The hero's quest to try to retrieve the unretrievable.
Woot does it again. It's a 3-piece off the back of that pistol. It's the Wonder Boy in action. Like you said, glimpses of Shanghai, and he's making EDG feel it.
Again, though, what kind of bonus round strategy can you really concoct with an Omen ultimate? It's just not as useful. So it is great that we're seeing this from Woot, but you would like to see the ult points been invested into other people for Team Heretics to start some real threats on the defense side. This is cool, though. Getting a high-low setup from Heretics.
It's an interesting idea.
Looking to try to punish Kang Kang, I would say, here.
Flash 2, up and over here. Fault line alongside it.
Simon's utility again.
It's overwhelming. Suffocating. That's what this EDG squad and composition at least does well.
I mean, I think if Team Heretics really invest to these Rebel fights, they can beat them. EDG shouldn't be able to come out on top of too many altercations over there, even with the breach in their comp.
Round 15 though, it's a critical one. And an impasse could potentially be an absolutely stellar beginning for Team Heretics. Onto the second half, or EDG making sure that they stop the bleeding.
Kang Kang looking to get cleared here. But really, Boo not finding much. This info, if anything, is good for EDG to play off.
Okay, hearing the footsteps.
Baits Woot forwards.
Yeah, Kang Kang's at least given that timing. Handed on a platter. Boo drifting back into position. They'll have to evade a lot of this util. Reveal, it tags. They know he's there. Sees. Delayed. Not delayed enough, I should say. Aftershock now in through the back as well. Gives him a bit of peace of mind. Kang Kang, he's right there. Nobody. Make sure that there's no problems occurring just from the backside.
Let's go,
Pit.
EDG.
Benji Fishy in position, in place. Flash the peak, but the weapon at hand just not good enough. He was sharp though. We need more than a keen eye in that spot.
Rian's with it all to do.
Yeah.
And no chances. EDG with a super clean anti-bonus there. And showcasing that their macro calling can work really, really nicely. Kang Kang inserted over towards this ult orbit A. And then as Boo opened door and went for the Prowler, I don't know whether they thought it was completely clear on A, or whether Woot wanted just to check the ult orb spot in that small timing window he had. But either way, they just gave it the first kill incredibly easily. Gonna have to do better than that in terms of getting info.
The Odin at work, Boo. Never go with things. Deep haunts. As bullets fired straight back, that's the recognition he was looking for, so happy to spray away.
And Chishu does take this timing into rubble early in a ton of rounds. He will sometimes throw in the fake teleport as well. But I think if they went for C's nades, like delayed C's nades over towards rubble, certainly a chance that they could catch him. And I love this deep alarm bot that you're seeing over towards Mount. Because if EDG threatens C, but it's a fake, they're probably not going to break that alarm bot. Here, though, they play just on the outside of it, so Benji will have the minimum amount of time possible to call for rotates. Do they break it? No. They're not going to allow him that time until they hit.
Exactly, waiting for the util to come back up. Regenerative, that it is. The fault line through, Benji Fishy.
Is there any play to deny waterfall here? Because otherwise EDG could get spammed.
Yeah, they certainly can. It's a
तीन बंदे waterfall हैं, दो city.
No spam at work.
One backstep, one backstep.
Such that it's Heretics, 5 alive versus 5, trying to play this retake now.
Backstep कोई नहीं है.
Planted for Mount, but playing on site.
Yeah. Controversial. EDG, we'll see if it pays off.
5v5 में क्या retake कर पाएगी यार?
It's already unleashed. Smoggy tucks himself up onto the high ground. Pushed away. Damage has definitely been done, and a weakened Boo can do naught but scurry.
Oh my God, Kang.
There's no escaping the sideline of Kang. He's got his mind set on something. He will do it.
ये बंदा गजब.
Beautiful post-plant play from EDG there. Bait out all of that on site. Retake util and still hold strong. I thought maybe it was going to be a two-wave post-plant where they force out that utility and are happy to drop back to Mound. They never even had to get back into that second wave. Heretics are going to need better plant denial than they showcased us just there. Only Benji on site. He really needed help from Rians. There's that C-Snade that I was talking about, but Chishu's in, Chishu's out. So really, even that small anti not finding too much value.
No, just snaps the tether.
Who gets the better end of that? I think you could probably say the attackers. Because even though Chishu's burnt both of his teleports and taken a bit of damage, you've used the Season the Nade.
Those are big tools. Either to delay or playing, making sure you can deny plant. Horn broken. Doesn't really tell them a whole lot. Could be one player, could be many, but actually they do have the info. Rians, the deep push and control over towards C Mound. They know it's either towards B or A.
Nobody is constantly involved in trying to sell the fake. If you see nobody like this,
doors open.
Look, they re-clear it.
Yeah, Heretics are straight on the money. They know what's up. Kang now trying to lead the charge with the rest of his team. There are smokes though. Drop down in position, Boo! Just lights him up, Kang. Heads potentially rolling, Woot! Beautiful shots, all rattled away. The adjustment by Benji Fishy just not in place.
Rians though with a quick timing, unexpected flank.
It's a tap.
Simon's watching for it, trying to bait it out.
Haven't committed. Rians is giving that now as a chance for the 1v1. What is going on? Shot's going to miss. Position is revealed. Classic in hand. Rians just cannot escape. Nobody quick to hunt him down, but that got messy.
Oh, you see the Rice smile there. Face palm from Simon.
Oh boy.
That was an outrageous whiff. Almost a full clip of whiffing. From a guy who we have seen, I think, choke a bit under pressure at times here on the big stage in this arena. He's 5 and 12 currently. All the utility still looks perfect from him. But sometimes he just can't quite wrangle the rifle, and you see him here getting pumped up by the rest of the team too. This time it's not a disaster. This time they can smile about it.
भाई अभी मैं कितना बोला पता है तुम्हें? मैंने माइक बंद कर रखा था. Difficult हो रखा है मेरे साथ. मुझे भूख लग रही थी, मैं बोल रहा था. अभी मैंने इतना लंबा भाषण दिया.
For now for EDG, hasn't hurt them too much.
मैं बोल रहा था क्या मैप क्लोज करेगी EDG? हम जाएंगे बाइंड में और खेलेंगे EDG के साथ डिसाइडर. या वहाँ पे टीम हेरिटिक्स करेगी इक्वलाइज.
Honestly, I think play in the post plan almost to make sure that
grand
you have spike
finals
committed.
को
Because the way that Team
बने
Heretics
रहो
are
यार
playing
वीडियो
right
के साथ वीडियो को लाइक करो
quite
चैनल को
passive.
सब्सक्राइब करो जल्दी से
There's a big committal. Side by side, Minibu's right there as well. I can break this one. Rolling Thunder connects onto both of them. We're trying to get the hell out of there, but he's revealed up. Haunt. My goodness, the counter spam is perfect.
Great coverage.
Reinforcements did arrive in time, and Heretics enough to get that initial player advantage.
And I like the change of it. Heretics really looking like they're fighting over rubble there. Forces that Rolling Thunder out. Now they're in a great position where you actually can sit back a little further.
Ult's going to be used. Luke's looking for info. Cleared out, broken. Heretics getting a very good idea that this is going to be ending over towards C.
I don't think they have just yet. They're 4 players stacked on A, expecting the re-hit.
They should have, potentially. Maybe hoping that the Utils enough to delay, but alarm bot, Nana Swarm going to be broken here. And
Benji's waiting for this plant.
He is. Nobody tucked to the corner here, and aftershot. Just
Planting C,
find him that piece
5v4.
A bit of spam, straight bullets.
4v4 ही कह सकते हो क्योंकि
Nobody
20 HP है वो
He plants a little off.
तक नहीं कह सकते यार
offloading the ult of his
कुछ भी
own.
possible है 1 HP clutch possible है
Connects. Gets the mark onto 3 of them. No more sound cues for the majority of them. Satchels through and abound as well, but a bullet attack slowing them into their approach. The onslaught is occurring, and Heretics looking to barrel their way through.
Oh my god,
Take
Heretics.
control.
Heretics.
And even out that scoreline straight to the top of your screens.
Equalize करेगी Heretics 999 पे पहुंच चुके हैं मैप नंबर 3 क्या ये मैप OT जाएगा या EDG क्लोज करेगी या Heretics भी ये मैप
plant went down. They were lucky to get away with this early skirmish though.
मैं अपनी किंग प्रेडिक्शन लाऊं सोच रहा हूं अभी अपनी किंग प्रेडिक्शन दे दूं
But yeah,
ये मैप क्लोज कर रही है EDG मेरी किंग प्रेडिक्शन यही कहती है
feigning that you're going to fight really heavy over that spot and drawing out the breach ult. Super important. Benji's one away from getting his ult online.
EDG Lotus हम जा रहे हैं बाइंड में
Team Heretics expecting that big fight over rubble. They get Wu posted, and now they're looking to reinforce over towards C. Benji can't play the retake this round, at least not as easily, not without his ult. Alambot retracted actually as well, just saving that one.
Yeah, I mean, Benji, he's already got the acknowledgement. He knows it from the bullet spam.
He definitely knows there's a lot of players mounts.
EDG looking to try and send it now. Nana Swarm drop down towards the feet. Here's a lot of util going to be used in kind. Boo! Only with the one. Firepower straight back at them. EDG decimate the defense.
With 2 being found from Kang as well. Still
क्या कहा मैंने
continuing to
मेरी किंग
carve
प्रेडिक्शन
into
अभी
these
देखना
sites.
आप कभी गलत नहीं है किंग प्रेडिक्शन VCT का 1 अगस्त से 25 अगस्त हो चुका है किंग प्रेडिक्शन हमेशा राइट है मैं मैच के बीच में दे देता हूं या कभी भी दे देता हूं अभी मैंने दे दिया था मैच में किंग
kill to be found at least, but with Woot dropping, chances dwindling, and yeah, return
10
of
for
the fire
9,
from
10
Simon,
for
getting
9.
his confidence back.
A lot's been made of the comparison between Kang and Aspas because they played in the upper bracket final. They played many times before actually too. But when you watch Kang play, what's striking to me is that there's such a massive difference between those two duelists. Kang a bit more similar to Minibu, although with more of a flair for individualism. And it makes me think about what Heretics have recently been saying in a lot of their press conferences. Neil was asked in the aftermath of them beating
time out for Team Heretics.
Of course, both teams have in this arena.
Last time out for Heretics.
And Neil, the coach for Heretics, said, well, actually, when you look at his play, he's quite a calculated duelist player. You can deal with it. To us, to Heretics, we find the more explosive duelists that just run in there and try to take over a site and take their timings. We find those players to be more difficult to play against. Could you think of an example that's better suited than Kang to the archetype of player he just described? Neil used Safe as an example, but when you're talking about the matchup here, you can already see that they're struggling to deal with Kang, and he's been dunking on them every map, apart from the first.
And he'll take a mile. He will disrespect you. It's been paying off.
That 1-2 combo of Kang and Chishu have dominated the last couple of maps. And we're really waiting for somebody on Team Heretics to step up and have the same impact.
Right now it is spread, and they're just 1 round down, of course. Big ult still left to play for. Benji choosing to at least invest now. He does have a stinger in his hands to make it a bit more winnable, but the defensive setup has adjusted. Nibu and Woots trying to make their mark known here. That's an early opening with Kang falling.
It's very, very tough to hold on to Mound against EDG. They've got really great protocols for this.
Advantage आ चुकी है.
You see whether they're going to tap door.
Yeah. So Paranoia already sent flying as well. You have to give this one up, and it is respected. Heretics.
Really well done there.
Just pull this util out, now holding, defaulting, drifting back into the crossfire. Setup, he just missed it. I think barely a shoulder, potentially poking out. Ult online, no kill. Jichu is avoiding. Dancing with death with that one. But dodged most of it and still found an opening. In through main, Smoggy's collecting. It's EDG. Working magic across the map.
Slip.
What was going on there? Was Boo late on the call to get the Viper wall up? Was Rien's late on the acknowledgement of the com? What is going on over towards B? EDG have just been granted an excellent route back in.
It's that uncertainty swirling. Heretics players are losing track, but maybe Rien's can answer back. It's 2 found. Instant there with a stun. And a swing once more from Simon, but not dead yet. Need to find some value. I believe Smoggy will have to hunt down some kills. TB from Jichu punished, and it leaves it down to 1. The rookie.
1v2.
Struggling this series, at least in this map as well. He's going to do it against Minibu, Benji. Swap of the weapons. Pass the rifle over to the healthier player. And a lockdown committed. Simon, how do you play this? Forced to press forwards, potentially there. He's overstaying his welcome. Swings potentially. Footsteps down.
Oh my God, Simon! Simon!
Demon in wait.
Well played, bro. Well played, Simon. Oh, ये लोग सांस भर के खेल रहे हैं.
No elation. Just
इन लोगों ने अपनी breath को रोक रखा है.
He was completely stuck. Utterly committed to the play. If Heretics had gone in one at a time there, if their spacing hadn't been quite as tight, they had that
Nice
round.
one, yaar. Nice
the
one,
rest of
EDG.
his team cannot believe it.
11-9.
He's just given them the map.
EDG up to 11. Ult in the back pocket of Simon. And Minibu, hard committed. A molly to try and clear his way through, but he's straight up in the air. It's Clay Pigeon shooting, and Kang not to be denied. He's cracked the sight wide open.
Kang, bro.
With rifles in hand, the EDG catapult themselves up to 12. There is nothing that Wu is going to be able to do about this. And Benji used his huge retake ult in the prior, and it ended up working against them.
Match point loading.
A tragic end to Lotus
point
here for
loading.
Team Heretics by the look of things. They would need some magic to get this one to overtime.
It's going to be 12 for EDG. As you said, you need that magic. Heretics have not come up with the answers.
Nice.
And Kang continues to tear through them.
It's dominance. It's a 4-piece in that round.
The way that he's supported by utility, there are a lot of teams that have moved away from the idea of setting up one big star player to go in and dominate. But I think EDG are showcasing that with the right supportive elements, it really can work. Rien's rocked. Has the ult online. Do you go for that committal at the start, or do you wait to see if EDG
Simon से
rushes in?
जब इनको need थी, Simon ने दिया अपना.
Can't let the despair settle in though if you are Heretics. Try and dig deep once more. EDG.
या यही close करेगी EDG या एक और round है अभी भी Team Heretics के लिए इस situations में.
Random spray straight through the smokes, cleared out most of the avenues. So nobody with the plan down. Kang holding it down still with that paranoia to stun.
Oh, timing.
Disrespected. Minibu takes the fight straight to him, dropping him down. Smoggy's there.
Nobody.
Once more. It's all collapsing. Heretics have no more chance.
Finally, GG guys. One more time. EDG win the map.
Pieces. He'd have to pull up a miracle. A double up discipline. EDG have a chokehold onto the site.
Let's go guys. 2-1. EDG on the lead. हम जा रहे हैं मैप नंबर 4 फाइंड में, जहाँ पे EDG कर सकती है डिसाइडर और इक्वलाइज करने के लिए टीम हेरेटिक्स को वो मैप जीतना पड़ेगा। तो बने रहो यार वीडियो के साथ, वीडियो को लाइक कर दो, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दो, और यार इस बंदे को भूख लग रही है तो थोड़ा सा खाना मंगाने दो, लंच करने दो प्लीज, बहुत भूख लग रही है बंदे, बहुत बोला हो यार, एनर्जी फट गई है, भूख लग रही है। सब्सक्राइब कर दो चैनल को यार, सब्सक्राइब कर दो। हाँ जी, तो गाइस लंच मंगा लिया है मैंने, तुम लोग कहीं मत जाओ, मैं आ रहा हूँ 10 मिनट में, बस लंच को फिनिश करके खाकर आ रहा हूँ यार। बने रहो यार वीडियो के साथ, वीडियो को लाइक करो, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दो जल्दी से। मैं बस क्यों गया और क्यों आया, सब्सक्राइब करो चैनल को, ठीक है, बस आ रहा हूँ।
Team Heretics player, Minimu. I mean, I'm happy that we won today. I felt really calm today. I felt really comfortable playing on the stage, like in front of a lot of people. I felt like we are in Berlin office, just chilling another day, you know, like it was good. I want to prove people wrong, that I'm better than people think I am. No one believed in me, but I pushed myself through, so I guess like proving people wrong. But when I like joined this team, I just wanted to win not only for myself, but for the people I work with.
So singular in focus. Miniboo already sent away, but Boo stuck around. Punished King, and now, no way! Miniboo double back. He went back to check. Doesn't leave Boo to fight alone, and look at the absolute mess of bodies left over towards Elbow. It's on Aspas and Com to try and find some threat here, try and close the gap, and Miniboo, oh my god, so evasive! Miniboo, you are absolutely brilliant at this!
I saw the boys getting into the grand finals in Shanghai, and I felt a little bit uncomfortable, but I was really happy for them. And going through, I was like also expecting to make grand finals in Champions, and here I am now. And I told myself I want that too. And now I'm in Champions finals. I'm not ready to call myself the best duelist in the world, but there is still so much to prove. This is just the beginning.
My, oh my, we are turning up the heat in this grand finals best of 5. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm back here with Kakuka. I've got Mimi on my left as well, and one more very, very special guest. Give a warm welcome, guys, to Kaplan, coach of Sentinels. Thank you for being here.
Having me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. Now, earlier, Zelsus was here, and he was rocking a Sentinel shirt. So, you know, I asked him why he was wearing that. You got an EDG shirt on you.
You know, I made the claim they would win today. I just wanted to say Jayo a bunch, practice my Mandarin. It was a no-brainer for me.
He's back in it. He's back in it. How are you guys feeling after that map?
I mean, I feel like this is such a massive win for EDG. The bounce back was ridiculous on that second map, but here that second half, they were completely in control. The mid-rounding to start off was looking ridiculous.
Yeah, one thing I was really impressed by was it's you see a lot of these instant A controls on defense on Lotus. It's hard to want to do that against EDG because they have really fast B hits with their comp that normal comps can't do, with the Clove smokes and being able to Omen flash at the same time. They've loved doing little A fakes into B in the past. So, you know, usually you can kind of play further back, go to where they're making noise. They're a very scrappy team, right? They played super confident in China. But I think what separates a good team from a great team is being able to self-ante. Be aware of your own issues, your own things that an opponent's going to look at. And this time around, EDG played way slower rounds early attack half. They would like get too inserted on A, they'd go back to mound, they'd wait till like 30, 40 seconds left to hit. And like EDG last year, I just never would have seen them do that.
Yeah.
And having prepared to play their own Lotus earlier in this tournament, I would not have expected that. So to see them be able to get kind of nerdy, methodical, slow, relax on a grand final stage, I really think it shows how much they've leveled up this year.
And at the end of the day, they're getting the best out of both worlds, right? Like they've managed to find a midterm between being very aggressive, especially also on the defense. Sometimes they will triple down on being extra aggressive if they know they're going to be countered, and sometimes they're going to do something completely different. So it's on that boundary of just preparing against yourself.
And we got to address Simon. What was that in the lockdown? What happened?
That clutch was ridiculous. I mean, literally one more second, he's locked down. He